How's it going, guys? We are here for another live stream. Now, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. We have got everything working okay. Now, it has been an eventful night already, especially for one of us here, Scotty. Tell us why you are sitting in a very, even darker room now. Tell us why you are sitting in a darker room.
Like large parts of southeast Queensland, and particularly the western suburbs of Brisbane, Mitch, we got smashed by a ripper summer storm this afternoon. A couple hours ago, it came through. It was pretty wild, and we are like a fair chunk of our part of the city without power. So fortunately for me, EV life, we've got the electric car downstairs, so I've run some power leads up, and I've got the fridge and the freezer and my laptop and a little light running, and that's about it. The rest of the house completely in darkness. It's been an afternoon for sure.
You sent me a couple of photos and videos. I actually managed to quickly save them before anything else. This is down the road from you. This is not your hands, I was told.
That is not my hands. No.
As much as I thought that they might be. Very, very soft-looking hands there.
Thank you very much.
So how far away from you was this hail, you know?
That's about like 4 or 5 kilometers in a straight line from where we are. So at our place, the hail was just a bit smaller than sort of golf ball size. the hail wasn't too bad. It was the wind was wild, and there was a lot of cloud to ground lightning, and I think that's what's taken out the power. I'm sure there's power lines down all over the place, and probably some power infrastructure that could take a little while to get back up and running. But the show must go on, Mitch. The show must go on. So here we are.
And we'll do a little quick video as well that you sent on over as well. So you chucked it up on Facebook as well. We'll chuck that up quickly. Oh, there you go. Turn that down a bit.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty wild. That is Australia in the summertime. Unfortunately, we didn't get any of that in Sydney a couple of weeks ago, but certainly in Brisbane this afternoon. So shout out to everyone in the western suburbs of Brisbane that's huddled around their mobile phone online with us tonight because there's nothing else to do. You can't turn the television on. So shout out to everyone who's without power in Brisbane. And otherwise, wherever you are in the world, g'day. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning.
Yeah, big welcome to everyone joining us here for this afternoon here in Australia. Now, I'm sure we'll probably start to get a couple of our UK viewers sort of jump on as well a little bit later, as we will have, hopefully, a very special guest joining us in the near future of Daniel Polf, making the visit virtually from Scotland over in the UK. But we have a couple of things to talk about in the meantime as well, apart from storm damage. From storm damage. Good timing. I accidentally brought that up. Recently, we had a pretty big event here over in Australia in our very own backyard. It's an event that hasn't been held in Australia for quite some time. I believe that you would probably remember the previous World Championships for 10 scale here a little better than what I do, since I was not born for another about 6 years at this stage.
Thank you, Mitch, for calling me old. It's a great way to start the show. Right off the top, you're so old. You remember 1989. Yeah.
Explain to me what the feel of the 1989 Worlds were. Were you there? How was your experience of the 89 Worlds?
We were there. We'd been racing just a couple of years, so we weren't at a level where we thought we could compete, but we drove from Brisbane down to Sydney and stood trackside for 5 or 6 days, or however long the event went. Like just about every other budding RC racer in Australia that wasn't competing, there was loads of us. And I've kind of caught up with people over the years that have said, yeah, I was there trackside as well. And you go through the old photos and, lining the fence, there's Lou Solar, and they're, there's Peter Scott and there's myself. And so, all of us who were around in the 80s. Thank you, Stephen Smith. How old are you, Scotty G? Almost as old as you, mate. It was fabulous. It was such a buzz to have all the world come to Australia. And that was in the relatively early, it was only the third IFMAR World Championship for a 10 scale off-road. So it was early days, and all we knew about the rest of the world was what we read in magazines. There was nothing else. There were no VCR, VHS tapes. There was obviously no internet, no anything. So we rocked on down there, and there's Jay Halsey, and there's Cliff Follett, and there's Masami Hirosaka, and there's Joel Johnson, and there's Jack Johnson, and there's Jamie Booth and Craig Drescher, and all of those names from World Championship racing, and there they were. And the St Ives track was fabulous. It was a great event. Australia has quite a history of putting on really good World Championship events across, all the different worlds that have been hosted in Australia. And there's been probably half a dozen now, I think, in different categories, maybe 7. And they're generally always really well organised. And that one the track was fabulous. The abiding memory is watching Masami Hirosaka do Masami Hirosaka things with his car that, that no one else could do on that day. And all of this, that was a very famous race because of the prototype Team Associated RC10, that came out of the box and shocked everyone. The Yokomo tyres that kind of found a loophole in the rules and created some tyres that no one else could keep up with. All of those storylines, and for us it was it's a long time ago, but I remember it really well. Just watching the worlds unfold, it was cool.
That's awesome. And to be able to experience another 10 scale worlds here in Australia, again, I think that experience, and just seeing how much things have changed between the two World Championships would have been something pretty special, I think, for you especially. For myself to go to a home 10 scale World Championships. I've been to the last two World Championships of 10 scale off-road, and each and every one always feels like it gets better. And I really feel like this one was extremely special, other than the fact that, it was here in Australia. It did just seem to have everything, and we'll get more and more into this probably a little bit later on as well. The setting of it, the weather, how a little bit of weather came into play at the end of two-wheel drive. We'll get into that a little bit later on. But you and I, we actually made the drive down to Sydney as well, Scotty. Tell me about your drive down. How did it all go? Where'd you pull up? How long did it take?
I mean, it's a solid 10, 11-hour drive from Brisbane down the coast to Sydney. I stopped halfway. Just a mate lives about halfway, and I hadn't seen him for a while, so I took the chance to kind of stop there and catch up with him, and cruised into Sydney the next day. And then about halfway down, I kind of thought, geez, there's a lot of time I'm wasting here. You know what I should do? I should record a podcast. So I hit the voice recorder on my phone and just talked to myself for an hour. It was a fabulous interview. Asked some really good questions, got some really dumb answers. But that's kind of how I passed the time of making the trip down the coast, was to record myself a little podcast. And then next time I stopped for fuel, I took 5 minutes to upload it as an experiment just to see what it would be like. A bit of fun. But it's a pretty cruisy drive now. It's highway all the way, as you know, motorway. I think between my house and Newcastle, there's the only traffic lights are when you go through Coffs Harbour, and that bypass will probably open next year, and then there'll be not a single traffic light between Brisbane and Sydney. It's amazing, right. Incredible highway. Yeah.
And for the people that don't know, I was going to say, for the people that don't know anyone outside of Australia, I don't think they quite understand how big Australia really is. Now, I've got it up on screen here, our section of the drive. We roughly live around the same sort of southeast Queensland area, beautiful area that we have here. Sunshine 1 minute, devastating storms very next. The drive down to Sydney, as you can see here, 10 hours. Now, that is a very small portion of the east coast of Australia once you zoom out just a little bit more. It is a reasonably significant drive, but like you said, it is quite a comfortable drive at the same time. Now, I think majority of people from, I know people from the UK, people from New Zealand say, you're going to do a 4 or 5 hour drive, and that's a massive drive. Whereas over here, we sort of are pretty comfortable with, a 4 or 5 hour drive. My last day at work, I drove around for about 5 hours. So it's sort of one of those things that we get used to over here. The drive down for myself, I did pretty much the whole way down. I left at about 4 o'clock in the morning. I wanted to be in Sydney before peak hour traffic at about 2-3 o'clock, which is what I managed to do. And that was pretty comfortable. 4 o'clock in the morning till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon is a pretty reasonable drive, roughly 10 hours. You get through Coffs Harbour, as you said there, probably the only part where you may hit traffic. Yeah. It's realistically in the most likely area where there might be a crash. So I sort of like to pick my times getting through the busier sections. But other than that, it was a very, very cruisy drive down there. I actually had some kangaroos at the top of my hill as I was leaving. That was my little send-off, make our way down to Sydney. So
quintessentially Australian. Just for that trip, yeah. No, it's good.
But
it's a big old country, yeah.
It is an incredible country that we have over here. Now, we will hopefully be joined by Daniel very shortly. He has just sent me a message saying that he's just tested everything out and he's pretty much all set, so he will join us pretty quickly. Now,
good.
Got a couple more talking points we can go through before he jumps on. Obviously, a lot on our plate tonight. We are going to discuss a fair bit on the IFMAR World Championships. We're going to go through quite a lot of that side. The Hills off-road community. I think this is probably one of the biggest things. The amount of work that they've obviously put into this event. I think it has to be pretty heavily recognized as to what they have done leading into this event. The the amount of stress that they were put under to host this and how rewarding that they have been on the outside of this. What was your overall impression of how everything sort of looked as you turned up, at least?
Mitch, I had been there once before, and so I knew that if you park down near the basketball stadium, you walk through that bush trail that comes out at the back of the track. And so I deliberately on the first day parked down there because I wanted to walk through the bush and into the event precinct. And you just walked through, and all of a sudden there was the track, and there was that massive pit marquee, and it just felt fabulous. It felt like this, and I've said this in other places, it felt like an event when you arrived in the track precinct. The track was immaculate. The presentation of the facility was incredible. The pit area was amazing. The space that was there and the system they had around tire impound and tire gluing, and it was just fabulous. Like you just walked in and went, this is a proper big event. This has been so, from my point of view, for the club, the imagination that it took to turn what is on any other day a car park into that event precinct was incredible. And the setting of the racetrack, like we've talked about that a bunch of times through the event, but the way that it's set, in the bush, surrounded by the trees, the birds in the trees, all of that kind of stuff. But the way that Hills, the whole team presented the facility was like absolutely spectacular. Yeah, that is the only way I can describe it. I walked in and just went, wow, like it was. You got the goosebumps of kind of going, oh, this is proper. This is a world championship event. Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly right. No, I had the exact same sort of thing. I didn't know what to look to when I turned up, and once again, I have been to the previous two world championships, and they've been both set in private settings. Like realistically business style settings, where the whole area is already preset. Realistically, you're turning up, you have your table there. The pits are all in a proper built building, and that everything's sort of there and ready to go. Whereas I feel like I was going down there going, well, last time I was there, people were setting up their own tent. People were bringing their own tables. I raced at the Nationals where I managed to sneak under someone else's tent. But if it wasn't for that, I'd have been sitting outside in the sun. So I was going, I have no idea what they've got set up here. And similar sort of scenario as I walked down the steep hill that they have going down there. Just seeing just the enormous tent and pit area that they had set up there, and I'll see if I can find a photo of it whilst we're talking here as well, because what they had done was just unbelievable. Realistically, I have got a photo here. As long as it's a 50-50 chance if I bring the right one up. Actually, it's a 1 in 3 chance, I should say, because there is actually 3 tabs that I have open. Let's see this one.
I'm going to let you do that, Mitch. I'm going to duck out and I'll be right back in. I'm just sorting out some power stuff here.
Yeah, not a problem, Scotty. So the facility here, I'll quickly grab this from Red RC. Red RC was one of the photographers at the scene over the weekend. They did an awesome job as well. As you can see, the setting that they had here was just unbelievable. The road coming down the hill, obviously coming into the pit area, was just the first thing that majority of people probably saw on the way in. And Sarah, I have seen your comment as well. Don't believe you. Never saw a kangaroo in the wild. Yeah, they can be elusive. They surprisingly can be very elusive. Now, I do have photographic evidence. I was searching my phone for it. I'm just seeing if I can quickly bring that up as well whilst I'm doing this. I'm surprised that we didn't have a little bit more nature trackside whilst we were at the track, but nonetheless, beautiful, incredible setting. And it was sent off by one of our local kangaroos here in southeast Queensland. May have actually been a wallaby. But yeah, once again, first impressions of the facility were just unbelievable. The job that the crew, the committee had done down there, the volunteers on top, they also had extra volunteers on top of the committee that were willing to help out and that sort of side of things. We're going to bring Scotty back in here as well. Welcome back, Scotty.
There we go. Yeah, it was amazing, wasn't it? The whole volunteer crew, there were people everywhere from all sorts of different clubs and different, there were people that jumped in for a day or a half a day here, or, Yeah, like was it Riley and Chris Lander that dragged cars backwards and forwards all through four-wheel drive up and down the front straight at the end of each race back to scrutineering, all that,
Yeah, yeah,
people doing that, mounting the impound, sitting on the front gate checking ID, doing the scrutineering, all of that, like a huge volunteer effort from a great team, and everyone was super friendly and welcoming, and you got the feeling that they were really proud of their club and the event, and so they should have been. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And I know there was even volunteers that came from overseas to help us out. I think it was Julian, if I'm not mistaken,
Okay.
that volunteered from the UK. I could be completely wrong with the names there. I believe she actually recently liked the fact that we're doing the live stream and stuff today as well. So I apologize if I have got the wrong name there, but yeah, we had volunteers helping out from all over the place, and it made the event just unbelievable. And I actually saw right at the end of the event that they had a volunteers photo, and I think I chucked that straight up onto my Mention the Mike page, because I just found that the amount of volunteers, and hopefully every volunteer was in that photo, and if there was any that was missed, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But the amount of volunteers and the amount of work they all put into it, I'm so glad they end up getting a photo of the lot of them, with the two world championships, with world champions sitting in front of them as well. It's an awesome photo, and that was probably one of my a very cherished memory, I think, coming out of that. As I see, it looked like a ghost orb zoom past behind you there, Scotty.
My lovely wife walking past with a headlight torch on, trying to find something in the darkness of the house. Yeah, I literally have stolen the only light that I could find to plug in. So fortunately, the kids are both at work, so it's quiet. It's a quiet night in the Guyot house.
Yeah, there we go. I did nail the name, Julian Hardy. There we go, from the UK.
Greg Fisher.
Yeah,
great to have you here, Fish. It was cool. One of the cool things was people that like local people that have been around the sport, the hobby in Australia for a long time, coming out to to check out the action over the weekend. And you had Ray Wood kind of floating around a couple of days with his camera doing Ray Wood stuff. He's such an awesome guy. There were people. Greg was helping transport people from the airport, I think. There was just a whole bunch of people who've been in the industry, around clubs, around the scene in Australia over a long time, coming out to either help or just to check out. Yeah, so we know in Australia we're a long way away from some of the parts of the world, and so it means a lot when people come here to do a World Championships, and everyone was pretty excited about it.
Yeah, for sure. And I like the fact that you mentioned Ray Wood there, because Ray actually has quite a collection of videos on his YouTube of previous World Championships. That's the sort of things as well, correct?
He does, yeah. Let me see if I can find the channel so we can tell it the proper name. But yeah, Ray was producing video or VCR kind of coverage of World Championship events years ago, and putting out the VHS tapes and selling them, fairly quickly after a World Championship event. And and then he's, over the recent years, he's made a lot of that available on his YouTube channel, which where is it? I'll find it. But yeah, you can go back and watch a bunch of old World Championship events that Ray has covered over the years. It's called Ray Wood RC Videos. So if you want to, I'll throw a link in the chat. But there's a whole stack of old World Championship racing covered at the Ray Wood RC Videos Facebook, YouTube channel. And yeah, Ray was kicking around over the course of the week, doing a bunch of good stuff. I beat you, Mitch. There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
You can follow either of those links, folks, and they'll both take you to the same place. Yeah, so he's got stuff, a lot of on-road stuff, but Nitro, Femke Nitro Off-Road Championships, 10-scale Off-Road Worlds from 2001, which I think was in South Africa. There's a bunch of fantastic stuff on Ray's channel, and yeah, it was cool to have him kicking around, and he was around on, I think, Driver, I think, for the opening ceremony, and one of the other days at least as well.
Yeah, and every now and then one of his videos from a World Championships will just pop up on my YouTube, and I'll just click on it, because it's just a natural thing that I'll pretty much watch anything that's RC content related. And I think the last one I watched was actually the IFMAR Worlds. I think it was Nitro on road at England Park Raceway.
Yeah, okay.
And yeah, just a really cool sort of bit of vision from England Park Raceway way back in the day, and just really awesome. You going, Scotty?
I'm just gonna tell a funny story about this comment here from Greg Fisher that even Dazza and Jason Head turned up to watch. And when one of the finals days, we were doing these sort of, I was running along the crowd, sticking a microphone in everyone's face, saying who's going to win, who's going to win, who's going to win. And I put a microphone in front of a guy's face, and I looked up at him as I said, "Who's going to win?" And it was Darren Campbell, who's obviously an Australian legend, but also heavily involved in the industry. And I haven't seen Darren for 20 years, probably, like a long time. And I just, we were live on air, and I just burst out, "Darren Campbell, like Australian legend," and he was so embarrassed by me making a big deal that he kind of turned around and ran away. So Darren, my apologies. You caught me by surprise. I didn't realize it was you, and I burst out. But it was fabulous to have Daz there, and he is one of the all-time greats in Australia. So was good to see him trackside. Yeah. Sorry, Darren.
And that was another thing that I sort of took note of as well. There was an incredible amount of people that have travelled incredible distances just to watch the actual World Championships. I know we had people from New Zealand that made the flight over. They didn't swim over. They actually did fly over. People drove down from, Queensland as well as from Victoria, all over the country. I'm pretty sure there's Dan Kenny. Actually, he was racing as well, but I'm pretty sure he was going to make the trip whether he was racing or not. There was a lot of people that traveled big distances just to come and view the event, which was pretty incredible as well. I saw one family from New Zealand that were just in the stands the whole time, just watching, and that was really cool to see.
And it was a great event to watch, wasn't it? I mean, the racing was spectacular. It was so close at times. You just, like, at times you had no idea what was going to happen and who would come out on top. And there were surprise winners. There were just brilliant performances, right through the field. And one of the things I loved was, on finals day, I think it was two-wheel drive finals day, early on, we were running like an M final or something, and the grandstand was full and people were cheering, and it was fantastic. Like, what a great, I've said this in other places, but one of the things I love about the World Championships, Mitch, is not only do we crown a world champion, but it's a celebration of the sport, the hobby, and it's like an Olympic Games. We have Eddie the Eagle or Eric Musambani from Equatorial Guinea, who can barely swim 50 meters, but he's in the Olympic Games. And a world championship is a bit like that. Of course, it's all about who wins and who's in the top 20, 30, 50, but it's also who's running around in the M final, having put their best foot forward to be a part of a world championship event, a once in a lifetime experience. And for a whole load of people, that's what this event was all about. And I think it's fantastic. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, no, I know. I have a feeling I know which race you're talking about with the stands were packed, and I have a feeling that this guy was actually on track during it. Peter Seckel, he had a massive amount of people cheering him on during his final. And there was some really good moments with Pete throughout the World Championships. It was good to catch up with you, Pete. We have our banter going into every event. We have our banter during every event. Pete, unfortunately, will always hold the national championships in short course truck over my head, even though I don't think it was deserving. But nonetheless, we had a great time, and the amount of people that were watching on and cheering on Pete, and I think he had a good wager on if he did manage to win. We'll keep it PG. We won't talk about what the overall wager was. It wasn't anything illicit, anything like that. It was all fairly safe. But I think they had a big night the night after. But yeah, the crowd that sort of cheered Pete on when he got his win, that sort of side of things, that was really cool to see. And then you obviously make your way up into the A mains, and the crowd sort of mellows into a sort of different sort of feeling. But yeah, have we still got you, Scotty? Your screen's frozen up a bit. Oh, we may have lost Scotty. We may have indeed possibly lost Scotty to the thunderstorm. We'll see how he comes back. Pete Seckel, yeah, I love you too, Pete. You are a proper good boy. I love you. Oh, there we go. It is official. Scotty may have been taken by the storm. We'll try to take me off a complete full screen layout. That's not quite it. There we go. That's a little bit better. All right, so we'll see how Scotty goes coming back whenever and if he comes back. There is still some pretty adverse weather out there, as we saw from Scotty's video early on. But yeah, so a lot still to talk about tonight as well. We are going to get Daniel Pole on pretty shortly as well. But yeah, just an incredible event from our side as well. The media side, we put a lot of effort in going into this. A little bit from my side, and I think a little bit from the Scotty Guide side. He has a lot more information about the sort of, I guess, the backgrounds, the information to feed to the people watching and stuff. That's where his sort of time and effort goes into it. And then obviously a massive, mammoth amount of effort coming in from Matt Seckold and Tony Firth, who are the main two guys in charge of RC Race Media. We'll go into a little bit more of that a little bit later on as well. In the meantime, as we're still hopefully going to get Scotty back, and we'll get Daniel Pole on pretty shortly as well. Hopefully this doesn't turn into a solo podcast. Sarah, did you manage to get your hands on a Raw shirt? You are the first to pick it, but yes, I did. Very cool story behind that. And I have to thank Brent Tilke a lot for this, and it sort of left me pretty speechless. He came up to me at the closing ceremony, the banquet night, and he just passed it off to me. And I got to admit, it had me in shock. I didn't expect it at that stage. I'd hoped to be able to get one, and I did have a little private discussion with BT earlier on, in the hope that if he did happen to have one spare, I would cherish it. And yeah, he came up to me and he offloaded it to me right at the end of the event, and I was absolutely stoked. Message from Scotty Guide. Mobile internet seemed to just die, so I have no internet at all. That is direct from Mr. Scotty Guide. So we may or may not see Scotty Guide back. We'll see, and we'll keep you updated on that one. We may have to just try and bring Daniel Pole on. So we'll have a quick chat and see if we can jump on with him as well. All right, Scotty, I think is trying to join back in. But yeah, overall, from our point of view, the media side of things was just outstanding. Let's see how we go here. Scotty, how are you? Are we back, Scott? I felt lost without you, Scotty. You just disappeared.
Yeah, mate, it's a bit crazy here. We've had powers bouncing off, on and off, and mobile internet's kind of gone and come back, and who knows? The storm's long gone past. There's no, like, for anyone who's not in Brisbane, it's fine. It's beautiful outside, but there's just no power in half the city. So we'll just keep going until I disappear again. I missed what you were saying, except when I came back in, you were talking about the opportunity to be a part of the team covering the event, and that was a fabulous opportunity. And
I was just
can't say anything about it except how awesome it was.
Yeah, I was just sort of mentioning the amount of work that sort of went into it from pretty much the media side of things. Your background and your input and stuff into the stream, but also Matt and Tony's input into the stream as well. And I hope that we haven't lost you again here. Your screen does look to have frozen. We may have lost Scotty again here. Quickly here, pretty sketchy in Brisbane this evening. Yes, yeah, it has been a very, very stormy day throughout the southeast Queensland region. It just missed us here on the Gold Coast, luckily. So we, as in myself personally, was not affected by the storms, but there has been some absolutely cool footage, and I'll see if I can quickly bring this up as well. just as we're going on through, as we lose Scotty for the second time to the storm, we'll quickly try to bring this up before we hopefully bring on our special guest. Just give me 2 seconds. We'll get this going. Let's have a quick look. This tab right here. So this is what we've been dealing with today. Hopefully don't get a copyright strike from this. But shopping trolleys from Costco Bundaman in Ipswich just flying around in our storm. We saw from Scotty's video just before as well that it has been a pretty incredible day here in southeast Queensland, to say the least. Pretty large scale hail, as Scotty sort of showed us before. We'll quickly try to bring that up as well, and as we continue to sort of wait on to see if Scotty does come back into the fray. But yeah, an interesting day in sort of the southeast Queensland region. Nonetheless, we will move on. We'll move forward. We will hopefully get Scotty back very shortly again. Yes, Andrew Savaggi, absolutely perfect. Yep, this would not be image in the mic stream without technical difficulties. Love it. Keep it rolling. Yeah, and this one is out of my control. I'm telling you, this is not my fault. I promise. Scotty may or may not return. All right. Nonetheless, we're going to move forward here, and we're going to introduce someone I would say is an up-and-coming talent without a single doubt in my mind. He is joining all the way from Scotland in the UK. I'd like to bring on board here Daniel Pohl. We can change this one up. There we go. Daniel Pohl, how's it going, mate?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, really good. Now, Daniel, hopefully we will get Scotty back in shortly, because I'm sure he's got a whole heap of questions as well. How have you been since the World? How have you caught up on your sleep sort of cycle? You know, all that side of things.
Yeah, I mean, well, we had a bit of a holiday after the World, so we went back to Dubai, and that was like 2 days, and then came back, and then the week after we went to a carpet race in England. It's about a 5-hour drive, so we haven't really caught up much sleep, but my sleep schedule's all right, so that's the main thing.
That's good. Now, tell us, I mentioned that you're from Scotland, part of the UK. Roughly where in Scotland are you from originally?
It's about 2 hours from the border, I think. It's middle to low of Scotland. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get Scotty back in as well here at the same time. But now, with that as well, racing over in the UK and Scotland, obviously there is a fair few tracks around the United Kingdom. Scotland side of things, though, what would you consider to be your local track in Scotland?
Well, it's Glasgow. It's an AstroTurf track. We only first got AstroTurf in Scotland in lockdown, so it helped us a lot because we didn't have any practice on AstroTurf, and in the UK, most of the races are AstroTurf, so it made such a big difference for us to get AstroTurf tracks.
Right. I'm just trying to quickly bring this up as we're talking about it at the same time, the Glasgow track local to you. Hopefully I have got the right one. Let's see. Bring this up as well. So I'm hoping that this is the correct website for your local Glasgow track. Yep.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's my monster truck in the background.
Oh, right. There we go. Even better. So, you do a bit of short course racing as well then. Perfect.
Only sometimes.
Only sometimes. You may or may not know, but Peter Seckold here, we have an incredible rivalry in short course, and he's just saying that Scotty's internet is about as good as Mitchell's short course performing at nationals. So I think that's pretty good. I did come second to Peter, and he was helped out by a marshal, so I'll take a good second. But yeah, so the Glasgow track over there. Now, AstroTurf, it's something that we don't really have over here in Australia. Explain the actual racing side of things on AstroTurf in comparison to, what we had over here in Australia.
Well, like on dirt, dirt's normally smooth, but Astro, it can be bumpy. And the AstroTurf can change as well, like different types. So there's some types of AstroTurf that's quite grippy, and then our one's quite grippy as well. But there's some ones that are just different level of grip. But dirt, it's I prefer dirt because the rear end you can sort of get the rear end out, but on Astro you can't at all. So I think dirt is better for racing because it's a bit slower and it's just nicer to drive in my opinion. I do like Astro, but I just prefer dirt. But it's annoying we don't have any dirt tracks in the UK, so hopefully we do soon.
Yeah. And that was going to be sort of my next question. Coming into this event, what was your preparation on say dirt tracks? Now I noticed on your Facebook post you said that you had one race on dirt leading into the World Championships. Was that quite literally all you had leading into the Worlds?
Yeah, pretty much. And the Euros at Hoodie Arena wasn't really dirt. It was like a weird, like glued. So it was pretty grippy. It was like a weird surface. So I wouldn't really count it as dirt. It is dirt, but it's not practice really. But we done. So I got sent out on yellows in the wet to try and like get my trigger finger smoother, and been doing lots of VRC Pro as well to just get in that low grip mentality, basically.
Yeah, right. And coming into this event, then I think that sort of leads me on to the next thing. Without the sort of practice and preparation, you did mention there that you had been to Hoodie Arena, but it sort of doesn't correlate. And I personally had raced the World Championships over at Hoodie Arena, thinking that we had an advantage going to that being, realistically a low grip country. And we went over there and we were completely shocked for the IFMAR World for 2019. Or
Yeah.
we were just blown out of the water. And then, so I know what you mean with that sort of things. I know that they have changed up a little bit at Hoodie Arena as well. They recently did, as you mentioned, I think glue the surface as well.
Yep.
So yeah, coming into this event, what was your overall expectations and hopes of results, or just in general coming to Australia?
I think we wanted a top 50. We didn't really have any expectations. We just said top 50 and I'll be happy with that. Because we've never raced against all the American guys. This is my first Worlds event, so we didn't really know what to expect. So top 50 and we'd be happy really. So I'm very happy with the result.
Yeah, we'll go into results and stuff very shortly as well. And Pete Eggleton here mentioning it was great to meet you. Your family, absolute superstar. And Pete's one of our sort of local father-son teams that they have over here. We consider them Queenslanders from ours, but they're actually from just over the border, roughly about an hour and a half as well.
All right.
Race here in Queensland a lot more, so we claim them as Queenslanders. Really cool family, the Eggletons, and I'm sure you probably had a couple of chats with them.
Oh yeah,
there was flying around as well.
yeah, they're really nice guys. It's so good to meet people like international events. I've made so many friends just from going to international meetings. It's such a good experience. The world's, it's like I just couldn't imagine not going really.
Yeah. And was this your first World Championships, or have you been to any previously?
Yeah, it's my first Worlds. I've done, I think, 3 Euros, but I've never done the Worlds. But I'm going into a point in my school where I don't really get much time off. Like I got a lot of schoolwork, so my dad said they should go for it. You're not going to get any other time to do it, so we went for it. And it was a good one to do as well, Australia.
Yeah, yeah, and I feel as if a lot of people are coming over with that, with the fact that it is quite a big holiday destination. People from America always sort of mention the fact that they always want to get over to Australia. And I know a lot of people from the UK that say that they want to come over to Australia, and it's just such a big distance to come as well. So I think you mentioned there that you came via Dubai to get to Australia.
Yes.
Roughly, how long did it take to get from your home all the way to Australia?
I think about 21 hours. So we had to split it up. We stopped in Dubai for overall a week. So 4 days on the way and 3 days on the way back because I could not do a 21-hour flight in one. Just couldn't.
Yeah, it is an incredible distance. Once again, when I went over to the Hoodie Arena, we pretty much did it all one day, but it is not a fun journey by any means. You have the odd layover or stopover here and there for a couple of hours, but it feels like an incredible effort. So yeah, I feel for all the people that have travelled from overseas to get to the Australian World, but that's how we feel going to Europe, and when we go over to America for a World Championships and that sort of thing. So a little bit of payback on our side. But yeah. So your first ever World Championships and a massive distance away from home. You mentioned obviously that your hope was top 50. Now, you excelled with that as well. I think from the very get go, you were in one of the very first heats up in the day, correct?
Yeah, I think I was heat 7. I was quite low down, I thought.
Yeah, very early on. Because I remember going through seating, myself being obviously one of the announcers along with Scotty Ernst, and also obviously Scotty Guide as well, who hopefully we're going to get back on at some point as well. We saw your name pop up to the top of the order on our sort of timing monitor and just sit there for 4 or 5 or 6 heats throughout the day. And we're going, okay, this guy has got some speed, got some talent here, and he just sits there all the way up until we get to like heat 12, 13, or 14, even. So it was pretty cool to see just. I think from our perspective here in Australia, a fairly unknown name of yourself just pop up, out of nowhere. And were you pretty stoked with your overall speed from the very get-go?
Oh yeah, the car was awesome just straight away, and it was really consistent as well. Like I was fast and I was consistent, so just straight away it was just awesome. I was really happy with it.
Awesome. Yeah. And you converting over to racing on, let's say, our dirt, how did that feel? Like, what changes did you make to the car, and what sort of setup did you come in to the World Championships with?
Or we're running the 3-gear gearbox, the truck one. I didn't I didn't really well, I haven't run like a 5-gear gearbox on dirt, so I didn't really know the difference. But it felt so good, and we've been running that on carpet now, and it was really good. So, trying to think what else we done. Uh, we just done like the Australian guys helped so much with setup. Like they made like spreadsheets and stuff for us, and it was so much help. Like we were pretty much sorted going into the event. Uh, it was just so much help from the Australian guys. So thank you very much to them.
Yeah. And I sort of noticed that as well going to the event. A lot of the Aussie guys were very helpful with sharing out their setups, knowing full well that what we have over here is very different to what America is used to generally. What Europe and the UK is quite used to over there, obviously with those Astro tracks over in the UK. It is quite a different sort of learning curve when it comes to Australian conditions, Australian dirt.
Yeah.
You obviously converted over very quickly. What do you sort of put that down to on top of your setup? You mentioned before that you did a little bit of testing on the Astro with different tires. Was there anything else you sort of put it down to that you converted over to the dirt pretty quickly?
I think honestly VRC is my biggest help. I just like put a really hard track on, put low grip, and I just keep doing laps over and over again. And I'm sort of ready for the low grip. Like going from high grip Astro to low grip dirt is a big change. So I thought I'll bring the laptop with me and I'll just do loads of laps in the hotel room, and it helps so much. And I was doing some laps in between rounds as well, and in the morning, just to get me warmed up, basically.
Yeah, that's awesome, and you personally believe that has really been a helping factor for yourself for racing. I think majority of people know of VRC, and probably a lot of people watching on have probably played VRC at one stage or another. But you personally do, believe that it helped you out quite a bit.
I think it's just getting used to the grip levels, and it kind of I don't know how to explain it. Like my fingers just aren't warmed up, like they aren't ready for it. I don't. It sounds weird, but um, it's just it doesn't help me with consistency anymore. I used it in lockdown. That helped me a lot. like just doing laps over and over again, trying to do the same thing, and that just helped a lot. But now I think I'm not using it for consistency. I'm just using it to warm up, basically.
Right. That's really interesting. And I know here in Australia, and I'm pretty sure it's probably worldwide as well. You mentioned there during our lockdown period, our little world pause, that it just boomed here in Australia. We had, whole groups where we were all playing, having a bit of fun online and racing it out and that sort of side of things. And yeah, from a personal side of things, I don't get a huge amount of wheel time, and it probably wouldn't be a terrible idea to jump back on and have a little play every now and then. I noticed when I was racing a lot more that any sort of wheel time was helpful pretty much no matter what. And that probably correlates with it as well, like the fact that you could sort of have a low grip set up and just get some sort of wheel time on a low grip track and just get a little bit of a feeling, I guess, for it as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. It makes such a big difference. I mean, I don't think without that, I think uh by round probably by seeding I'll be used to the track. It just helps a lot. I mean, I just couldn't really do it without it. I'm not sponsored or anything, but I just really think it makes a big difference with my driving. So
Yeah, that's really cool. No, it's really interesting as well. VRC is I'd say quite an old game now
yes,
in realistic terms. We see most racing games and stuff pretty much produce something, an update at least every year to 2 years, whereas VRC Pro has sort of been out, I'd say, good 10 to 12 years by this
yeah,
stage. And there realistically has been very little in the way of updates other than new cars and stuff. So it'd be good to see it revitalized in a few ways. And I know one of the Killage boys has constantly talked about designing a game, that's the side of things. So it'd be interesting if he ended up bringing something out. It'd be really cool to see something that is proper for the hobby. But we are a very small industry, realistically.
I
But
mean, it only takes a few people to get it running. So I mean, I think Burkhan's doing a world championships on VRC. So the only problem is it's 1/8 scale. I, I don't. It just feels a bit weird. The game, like the cars, just don't feel right. You don't have to explain it. They're just not similar. But it just sort of helps me get ready. So yeah,
yeah,
you need 1/10 scale cars in it. That's my
yeah,
main thing. I need to get
yeah.
more tracks as well, like AstroTurf and carpet, because that's like the main thing, I think. So yeah,
Yeah, it has a bit of playability, but it needs more replayability. Realistically, you have the ability to have multiple players and stuff, which is great. Definitely needs more tracks. Definitely needs more car options. That sort of side of things. Vehicle options, two-wheel drive, off road. Buggy and four-wheel drive would be really pretty awesome. They have that at least with the 10 scale on road. They have all that sort of things, but it'd be awesome to see with 10 scale off road as well. Now,
it would.
we're going to take a quick step back here as well. And I just want to sort of go through where you've come from, how you've risen to the driver that you currently are, obviously with your help from your father. What is your sort of background in this hobby as well?
So I started. My dad used to race, and he brought me to a local club, and it's still the club I race today, Glasgow. And it was like a church hall, and it was like carpet. It was very low grip, and I think the first car I ever driven was an RC10. I'm not too sure, but that I just drove that, and I think I was hooked really. And we went every Wednesday, and we just keep going. And then the church got knocked down, so we had to move to another place. And then after that, lockdown happened, so we couldn't race until we got a track ready. Like we had to get an AstroTurf track. We built that throughout lockdown, and I think that helped so much. Uh, I raced every Sunday. Uh, I just keep racing. I think practice is the most important thing you can do. Like through lockdown, I was just practicing VRC every single day basically, and that just helped me stay with it. But after that, AstroTurf, it was really good compared to the carpet we had, and it just helped. Like I said, it helped against all the guys in the UK. So Astro, we've still got a grass track, and I think that helps as well with like low grip stuff. Like it's not similar to dirt, but it's low grip. But I think like so much different tracks helps me a lot. Like if you just race at the one track, you don't really learn anything. I mean, you will get better, but you need to challenge yourself. Like going to hit this event, it challenged me so much. Uh, just just getting used to it and all the competition as well. Just doing different tracks helps so much, I think. And we have a
Yeah,
big variety as well. Like we've got grass, different types of Astro, and then we have like uh cork floor, and we have run these like different tires. It's really similar to dirt. I think that's the closest you're gonna get in the UK. But I think different tracks, just that's it. That's all you need. Different tracks.
you mentioned there. I think you said cork floor. Is that correct? Like
Yeah,
a,
yeah,
a
yeah.
champagne cork. Yeah,
It's like
right.
it's it's like a running. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a.
Mm,
It's weird. It's sort of like a. I don't know what the word is. A running track kind of thing.
Yep.
And we Schumacher designed these tires that would run it. It's really similar to dirt. Like
Okay.
the rear end just comes out a bit. It's so good. It's a lot of fun. I think that helped me a lot because if you flip, you lose all the heat in the tires, and that's why you need consistency as well.
Right.
So
Well, that's really interesting. I personally didn't know that there is a cork track around. I'll have to try to have a look at that later. I also got a comment here from Kenneth Dow.
oh,
Remember you
that's
racing from the church?
wow. I've not seen him for a long time. He used to run the Glasgow track in the church. Those two people, Stevie MacArthur and Kenneth Dow. I haven't seen them for a while. It's very nice of him
That's
to
awesome.
pop in.
Yeah, and I think well, we've got another comment here from Savaji as well. But Sturdy has won a world championships on VRC. Yes, Christopher
Wow.
Sturdy, one of our Southeast Queensland locals here. One of my home club tracks, major members and stuff. He has won a world championships on VRC as well. Kenneth said he promises he'll visit soon as well.
Good.
Um, so once again, you have at least a bit of a variety of tracks around you. Roughly, how many tracks within, say, an hour of your place would you say that you have, or is it sort of there's only one, and then you have to drive a lot further to get to the next one?
Yeah, there's one, and that's Glasgow. That's 30 minutes away. And then I think Dunfermline is like 1.5 hours. And then we have a really small indoor track, and that's about an hour. And then we have to go to the very top of England, no, top of Scotland, to go to Aberdeen, and that's a high grip AstroTurf track. So that's about 3 hours. So it's quite far away, And then going to England as well, that's a very long time, and we're just used to it now, going all that way, uh, to race like 4 hours minimum. So it's rough.
Yeah. So yeah, decent travel time still. Myself, and Scotty were talking about the fact that Australia is quite a large country, and travel times and stuff over here in Australia, we're pretty prepared to travel, a couple of hours here and there to get to and from the track. And Scotty and myself, we drove down from Brisbane, which is roughly about a 10-hour drive to get down there.
Oh.
But just for say a club meeting to drive 2 or 3 hours is quite a big hike. We would call it quite a hike. But yeah, any more in your background that sort of you want to mention? You've had some incredible results recently leading into the World Championships as well. And I saw that you were the Scottish regional champion, both two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, we don't really like the guys there are really quick, but I think I don't want to sound big-headed. It's hard as well. I'm sorry if this offends you, but like I think I'm a bit above them, so I don't really have much competition. They are quick, like they're there, but if I have like a two mistakes, they'll be there. Like
Yep.
they're there. It's not like they're really slow. They're fast, but I'm just a bit above. But in the UK, it's extremely hard. Like England, I mean, like nationals. I think that's where the competition is. It's like Neil Craig, Tommy Hall, Charlie Saunders. There's loads of drivers there who are extremely fast.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel as if the names you've just put out there as well, like Neil Craig and the Hall boys, like they're the sort of guys I've always wanted to come up against and stuff, but they are way above my league. But yeah, obviously Neil Craig. How is it racing against Neil Craig? He is so well known within our history of our sport. What is it like racing against him?
It's just like it's racing with your heroes, really. I remember the first time I battled him was at Stotfold, and I think I done a pretty good move on him, and I binned it right after. But it's generally like it's crazy to race with him. Like I remember watching him from the bottom final, watching him to actually racing him. Like it's surreal, basically. I can't really believe racing against a world champion.
Yeah. No, incredible. Okay. Now, moving back over here to Australia, you mentioned that you did a little bit of traveling over here. We'll get into results and that side of things very shortly. You did a little bit of traveling over here as well. I saw a couple of your photos and stuff that you put up. What did you go and see and do before you got into the racing, and what did you go and see and do after the racing side of things that were external to the RC?
Well, I think I slept we got there on Friday, and I just slept on Saturday. Like I did not wake up at all. We didn't really visit that much, I don't think. On the way back, we did. We went to Bondi Beach, Manly Beach. They were really good. And we went to the Featherdale Zoo Park. I think it was. I think it was at Featherdale. That was really cool, and I got to see koala. That was pretty cool. And I got to see a few kangaroos as well. But the country is really beautiful. It's
a pretty special country over here. I think I also saw that you went to the Blue Mountains as well.
Oh yeah. I think I did. I'm not really too sure. I'm pretty sure I did.
I think you saw the Three Sisters.
Oh yeah. I remember now. Yeah, that was really cool, and just the whole landscape is really cool.
That trip down to Sydney for me was actually the very first time I personally have ever been to the Blue Mountains as well. And it feels weird from Australian to sort of go sightseeing in somewhere that's almost still my backyard. I've been to Sydney probably, I'd say 20 to 30 times pretty comfortably. But I've never personally been to the Blue Mountains. And for me to experience the Blue Mountains was a pretty incredible experience. So I'm really happy to see that a fair few of our international drivers actually got out and got to see that as well. Because for my first time, I thought it was just an incredible area. Like I said, I'd never been there before myself.
It really is. It's so cool to see, like just going out and like going to the Opera House as well. That was really cool, and in the dark as well. It just looks so cool, and it doesn't feel real when you're there. Like you're in Australia next to the Opera House. It's pretty cool. I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah. All right, let's flick on over to the RC side of things now. Two-wheel drive, or check-in / opening day. Making your way to the track. How far away from the track were you staying?
12 minutes, I think.
12 minutes?
Yeah.
Perfect. So not pretty close, reasonably close. You don't have to contend with traffic and stuff in the morning, which is good. As you made your way to the track, and as hopefully we might even be able to get Scotty back in here, because I'm sure he will be. It looks like he's gone for a bit of a journey. Okay, before we go any further, we're going to bring Scotty on. He looks like he might have gone for a drive. Yeah, come on in, Scotty.
How are you, gentlemen?
Yeah, there we go.
Daniel, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, we've been smashed by a storm. There's no power. There's no mobile phone. So I've jumped in the car and driven until I found somewhere with power. So I'm in the car. I'm on my phone. Who knows how long this will last? But we're good. I'm back. Sorry to interrupt. You keep going with what you're up to, Mitch, and I'll jump in when I catch up.
No, not a problem. This Dan, you wouldn't know of this too much, but this almost feels like a reverse situation of a live stream that Scotty and I did a couple of months back. We actually had a cyclone come through roughly in our sort of area, and I drove about 15 minutes into local town, so I had somewhere that we had just some sort of internet connection. We have literally no internet where we live or where I live. I had to drive into town and I was in the car. So we're doing a reverse situation here of that night, realistically. So this is good.
That is dedication.
Yeah.
I do not want to miss out on a chance to chat with Daniel Pohl. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
So Scotty, we were just sort of getting into arriving at the track for the first time for Daniel and sort of your first experiences of the Hills Off-Road RC track. Did you go there before a check-in day? Okay,
Yeah, we went.
Fill us in on that.
Well, we went. Oh.
Sorry.
It's okay.
It's all happening.
Go on, Daniel.
Okay, I can do this. We went on the day we arrived. It was still getting ready. It still looked pretty good. Like all the gazebos and all this stuff getting laid out, and the track looked awesome as well. Like first impressions, it looked awesome. I was really excited to drive. Like it's annoying when you see a track and you still got 2 days to drive until you can drive. It's so annoying.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Once again, I've been lucky enough to go to a couple of world championships in the past, and yeah, we always go to the track. First thing you want to do is go look at the track.
Yeah.
And then you desperate to get on the track for the next day and a half, 2 days. Exactly right. And it's like, oh, why did I do that? Why didn't I just wait an extra day? At least now I only have 12 hours till I'm first on track. So yeah, first impressions coming into it. Was it roughly what you expected? Was it above your expectations? Did you know that it's pretty much surrounded by a forested area and stuff going into the event?
I did hear about the Jurassic Park, and it probably was Jurassic Park. All the birds like screeching it when it came to nighttime. It was really cool. It was really cool. But it's a really good environment. Awesome. I mean, my dad had to walk down this bit of steps, and I'm pretty sure he saw a snake or something in the bushes. He always complained about walking down those steps. I think he was just scared of the wildlife in there.
He didn't get taken, so that's a good thing. He didn't get taken by one of our wildlife, one of our Jurassic birds over here, or a drop bear. So that's a good thing. He wasn't stolen away from you. But yeah, no, it is an incredible sort of landscape area around the track that we have at Hills RC. Obviously not a local track to myself or Scotty, but it still kind of feels like our backyard in a way, I would say. Next thing, experience of the track itself. What did you think going into the tour drive layout? Like, what was your expectations going into it? How did you sort of think that you would perform, I guess, for your first laps around? Was there anything you thought was tricky, for instance?
I'm trying to think. I think the triple was obviously going to be hard. Like looking at it, like it's quite small down ramps for both layouts. It's quite small down ramps, but I think I got that the triple at the end though. I'm trying to think what else there was. That at the top left, so you go around a hairpin, you go down, and then you sort of drop down, and then there's like a hairpin. That drop down, I keep clipping the inside, and I thought that was my bit that was the hardest. It's not. It wasn't like the hardest for other people, but for me, I just keep clipping it. So, yeah.
Was that in the 4-drive segment or the 2-wheel drive?
The 2-wheel drive. The 2-wheel drive.
Okay. Yeah. Right. All right. And then sort of from that, did you sort of build confidence from seeing the layout? I feel like a couple of Europeans sort of saw the layout being quite a bit flowier than a general off-road track. And they sort of thought, okay, well, we can probably manage that a little bit better without all the extreme hairpins going in and out of corners. Did you sort of build confidence from seeing the layout?
Yeah, I mean, hairpins not my favorite, especially in low grip. But like it was pretty fast. There was some sweeping corners. I think my favorite corner was after the drop down, that fast sweeper before the corner tabletop. It was just a good layout. I thought they pretty much nailed it with the layout in both classes. I think the four wheel drive it was just harder. I think the layout was still alright. It was just a lot harder, like with the triple and I'm trying to think what else. That double at the top left, I think that was quite hard for a few people.
Hmm.
But they were both pretty fast, quite flowing, and I think four wheel drive was just harder, really.
Yeah. And Scotty, do you have any questions, sort of, as we led into the event itself for Daniel?
Oh, I'm really curious, Daniel. Hey, I mean, we're getting to this now, aren't we? But right out of the gate in two-wheel drive in practice, you were really quick, and you looked fantastic that practice day. And I'm curious what that felt like for you to obviously it would have confidence on the kinds of tracks you used to at home. You are quick everywhere, but it must have been cool to kind of get out on that track and go fast straight away in practice.
Oh yeah, it's always a good feeling. I mean, you've got confidence like all through. Like I said to my dad, I think I can get good 3 rounds through quali just straight away. Like it was just such a good confidence booster. I mean, it just helps a lot. I mean, the car's good straight away, and then you don't have to do any changes, and you're not like in that weird situation. It's just really helpful with that confidence of the car and yourself. I think it just helps a lot.
How much did you, were you able to arrive with a starting setup that the team provided you, or did you, you and your dad kind of looked at it and went, okay, we think we know what we want to do with the car, or were you really getting good advice?
Well, we did get a lot of good advice from Australian guys. I think the stuff that was kind of different and we normally didn't run, we just said we're just gonna do what we know because we don't want to go into event without knowing something. Well, do, running something we don't know. I think we've done it pretty well. Like the setup just straight away was pretty good. Like I think we just had some like minor changes and maybe more on power steering, or we could put a little bit more grip on it, or just anything really, just small changes.
How different were the conditions and the setup to what you'd run at the Euros, the Hoodie Arena? So, tell us a little bit about the comparison between this outdoor dirt track at Hills and that indoor sort of semi-glued track at Hoodie for the Euros.
Well, the Hoodie track was not like a proper dirt track, in my opinion. I think that Australia, like that was like, in my opinion, that was the first time I've driven on dirt at the Worlds. Like, I don't think the Hoodie Arena counts as dirt. It is dirt, but it's just not. It's just the fact that it's PVA glued, and it's just not. It just feels a bit weird, like the way the car handles. I think the Welsh track was just a proper dirt track. It was just a good experience, really.
Yeah. So tell us about two-wheel drive. Qualifying. You talked. We saw you really fast in practice, and you talked there about saying to your dad, I feel like we can go good here in qualifying. Just talk us through the rest of what that qualifying experience was like for you. How did it unfold?
Well, I was quite high seated.
Yeah. Yes, you were. Yeah, it was fantastic.
I was. I feel like the car was really consistent. So I was just doing in seeding. I was just doing laps over and over again. So I got a pretty high seeding, and I think honestly I probably could have stayed in that B heat, but I think I was just like at the end of the pack. Like it was really good drivers in there. There was obviously Tommy Hall. There was David Ronnefolk. Trying to think who else. There's just loads of good drivers in there. But
Brock Champlin was in that heat. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. He's the world champion now. So
yeah.
I mean,
That's
in qualifying, I can't really remember what round scores I had, but I think I had like 2 good runs and like a dodgy one, and then it's just really like getting straight away in quali. I think it's like really comfortable to have a good first and second run because like
Yeah.
you can just send it. I think that was the problem with four-wheel drive. I didn't really have a good. Well, I DNF'd in my first four-wheel drive run. I had a bad second run, so throughout four-wheel drive qualifying, I just had to keep it clean. But in two-wheel drive,
Yeah.
since the car was so easy to drive, I could do a good run just so easily, and then I had the confidence to just go for it. So that 15 and run, I think that's a 15 and run. That was when I knew I could just go for it.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the two-wheel drive car that you ran? Were you running pretty standard car? Were you running the 6-point whatever gearbox or the new 3-gear gearbox? There was a few different variations. Yeah.
We're running the new truck gearbox. I think that's it, really. I don't know anything else we're running. Not too sure.
Not too sure, Daniel, or can't tell us the secrets? Come on.
No, I generally
Nobody's listening.
I have no idea. Wait, I think I've got a setup sheet here. I don't know what
No,
that
it's
means
all right.
anyway.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Sorry, Mitch, I interrupted you there.
No, you're right, completely fine. Yeah, so the results you had, I mean, the very first round out on track, you had a 20th overall with an 11-lap run. Fairly, a really good result from your very first qualifying run. How did you build the confidence from that very first round on track?
Sorry?
So your very first qualifying run on track, you end up 20th overall from the first time on track, or first qualifying run on track, and that would have been a massive confidence boost as well. Not like knowing that you couldn't just do say 2 or 3 laps from seating well, but the fact that you could also go for a full 5 minutes full run with that sort of pace as well. How was your confidence coming out of the very first round of qualifying?
I felt pretty happy. I mean, I know I could get a C final. Like, I just know I could do it. Basically, like all that confidence, because like I knew I was sitting around the C final, and I think I knew I'd be sitting around the C final. After this, I knew I would be sitting around the C final in both classes. I think because just like getting a 20 straight away, I think it helped a lot with confidence.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, an incredible start from the get-go, and I think that's when I sort of myself and Scotty Ernst, we sort of started cluing on to the fact that this wasn't just a sort of flash in the pan result. This was the real deal. We saw you going through the seeding sort of side of things, and I'm sure Scotty will probably be able to chime in here as well. The fact that we saw your name once again up there through the seeding and through practice, and we were going, okay, kid's got speed. And then from that first round of qualifying, that was, I think, when we really clued on, went, okay, it's not just a little bit of speed here and there. It's a full 5-minute run. I think that was really impressive from my side. I'm sure, Scotty, I'm sure you probably noticed this as well.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Daniel was one of the young drivers I was keeping an eye on from before the event. It's been a big year. It's been a big year for you, Daniel, right? Like the Euros was good. The British National Series has been really good. You've really had a pretty impressive 2025. So we were keeping an eye on this young fella and a few of the other young junior drivers. So, Phoenix Eggleton from Australia, Dylan Toyer from New Zealand, with those kind of three, so for me, there was this little battle in the background of not only how far up would each of the three of them get, but, what would be the fight for the junior kind of bragging rights, if you like. So yeah, it was cool to watch out of the gate, and then that speed, as you say, Mitch, to be replicated through qualifying.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll go back to the results, that side of things as well. Second round, you had a round of 44th overall, and then you went straight back into it. So you managed to build your confidence straight back up after an average result, as I would sort of put it from your perspective, I guess. But at the same time, your hoping coming into this event was top 50, and still at 44th for the round, it's still pretty quality. If that'd be the dream. If I can make a top 50 for a round, that's a dream. But from your perspective, a 44th for the round, but you bounced straight back after a 44th to a 23rd, and then a 15th to back that up as well. Coming out of qualifying, how did you feel after that?
I would right after the qualifier or
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
whole
like
qualifying?
out of all the qualifying, how did you feel
Okay.
after qualifying?
I was like shocked that I would like actually do my goal, really. I mean, a top 30 like in world standard is pretty crazy to me.
Mm,
And
yeah.
at the Euros, I got 27th in two-wheel drive, I think. And here I got 23rd. And like I think I was expecting lower because the X-ray advantage of at the Hoodie Arena, because all the X-ray guys were faster. So I was expecting like top 50, and pretty happy with that, definitely.
And mentioning that as well, were you somewhat surprised with X-rays realistically struggling so much out there?
Yeah, I definitely was, because like Ronafolk was on the edge of the B, and Dakota Fend as well was on the edge of the B, and I had to get a better score to try and knock them out. But looking at it now, I was nowhere near them. So, uh, but I think the track conditions change a lot, and I think the X-ray guys kind of suited it in Q5. I don't know if it
Mm,
was a setup change or condition change, but I think Marcus struggled as well with the conditions. I think everyone, like in AE, struggled a little bit with the changing conditions, because you can see it. Like
mm,
Marcus was, oh, he TQ'd 3 rounds in a row, and then all of a sudden, uh, like I think the car was just fading away a bit. I think the
mm,
car was so good, but it just wasn't as fast as it was before. So it was just changing conditions. It changed so much throughout the day. Like obviously, practice one is extremely low grip, and then going to quali, it's like in the transition stage. It's quite hard to get around, really. So yeah.
mm. We were talking during the event about the way that the balance of power shifted through qualifying to different manufacturers. So, as you've just noticed there, Daniel, like in Q4 and Q5, Shoemaker and then X-Ray were relatively stronger than they had been in Q1, 2, 3, where Associated had been so strong. And whether it was changing conditions or whether those two teams found something for X-Ray, it was too late. It was really Q5 on the second morning on the third morning, sorry, when they found that. But you saw the Shoemaker guys, Daniel Kovacic, Brock Champlin, start to really go toward the front in Q4, and then in Q5 they were right there. So you really could see the balance of power shifting through qualifying into particularly Q4 and especially Q5, as you've noticed. And yeah, we were kind of curious about whether it was some setup changes that didn't quite work out for the Associated crew, or whether it just was the Shoemaker and X-Ray camp getting their heads together on that, overnight and finding something. But you saw that balance shift carry through into finals as well, when Champlin was super fast in the finals, and he had not been that fast in the early rounds of qualifying. Yeah.
Well, like I think me and Tommy and Jamie all agreed that the car was really good on the third morning in practice, and then
Mm.
all of a sudden it was like we just swapped. It's like X-Ray and us swapped pace. Like I was ahead of Ronafolk, and then Ronafolk just destroyed me in the actual
Yeah.
heat. So it's weird. We don't really know why still. It wasn't, well, there wasn't really any bumps on the track, I wouldn't say, because, well, you can't
No,
really look. You can't really look until uh the final ceremony, because you're not allowed on the track, so it's hard to see really. But yeah.
Speaking of Tommy and Jamie, I guess you guys race together a fair bit. Is that a a good relationship you have with those guys? They're
Oh yeah,
they're pretty smart on the setup stuff. Do you swap ideas with them? Get some tips
yeah,
from them?
yeah, all the time. I mean, they're really nice guys. Like their parents as well.
Mm,
Julie and Graham as well. They're really nice. Like we spent loads of time with them, like going to dinners and stuff. We were pitting next to them as well, obviously, and
yeah.
like it's they sort of like we we would help them, and if they asked a question, and they would help us if we asked a question. So it's a good relationship. like just the whole AE team. Like I think we have the best team off track. Like we're just really collected almost. Don't know what the word is, but like we sort of help if someone asks. I mean, like Brent, all throughout the week he was helping everyone. I don't know how he can do that, like without crazy stress. I mean, it was such a good help. Like giving us the truck gearbox as well. I mean, it's just the whole team's just incredible. I mean, we couldn't have done it without the Australian guys, the UK guys, my dad, of course, like Brent, just everyone, like just the whole AE team. So I'm just happy to be part.
I'm trying to remember now, and I don't have my notes with me because my laptop's not working. But this was your first Worlds, wasn't it? Is that right? Am I remembering that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what? I guess I'm curious about that experience of working with Team Associated at a World Championship, and you've just talked a little bit about it there. Team Associated is such a World Championship winning machine. 35 times now they've won. What? I guess I'm curious about the expectations you had and how maybe it was different at a Worlds compared to working with the team in the UK or even at the European Championships. Obviously, you enjoyed it.
Definitely, but I think the main difference is having like Brent there. I think like he is the biggest difference. Like at the European events, like we're all obviously a team, but like Brent's obviously the team manager, so he sort of like he just helps everyone. I think that's a big difference. I think all the American guys, I think that's just the biggest difference. Like getting that extra bit of help because we're all helpful at the European events as well in UK. Like we don't change at all, like attitude or anything. It's just Brent's just a big difference, I think.
Yeah. Was there good communication before the Worlds? Was there kind of team group chats and things about what to expect and setup wise and parts and things before you came?
That was like spreadsheets and stuff like with all setups, and it was I don't know who done it, but like we appreciate you a lot. Like I don't know how long that would have took. It looked like a lot of work. I couldn't imagine all the stress that would have took. So thank you very much for having done that.
You'll be getting a text message from Andrew Salvaggi any moment, Daniel, to say, "Be quiet, don't give away all our secrets."
I hope not.
I know going into the US World, we had a similar thing. I was lucky enough to be a part of the Team Associated group chats, and that's the side of things. Even though I'm not a very high level driver, I managed to sneak my way into the system. And yeah, the information coming into the sort of chat groups and stuff was almost overwhelming. The amount of support that you had leading into the event. So it's good to see and hear the fact that we had a similar sort of scenario coming into Australia as well, for especially for international drivers, but even for drivers that aren't local to Sydney, such as anyone from Southeast Queensland or even drivers from Western Australia that made the trip over as well. So that is cool, at least from the associated background. I'm sure there was probably similar for X-Ray and Schumacher as well. I'm sure they have their own independent chat groups, and they'll probably share information between them as well. But yeah, it's good to hear sort of in depth from the associated group as well, especially here.
It is. I do. One day I want to sit down for a long, extended chat with Brent, maybe Andrew. There's like all of the teams work really well, and they're all quite different. But you can't deny that Team Associated have such an extraordinary track record. There must be something about the way they go about World Championship races in particular that I want to understand. I want to understand, what is it inside that team that, it's an extraordinary record over a long period of time in many different classes. Sorry, that's getting more into what I want to know about. Back to you, Mitch.
No, not at all, mate. I love hearing you talk, and I love the way you ride as well, Scotty. You should know that by now. I will always let you just spiel on because it saves you from talking.
Just rub it up. Let's ask Daniel about the transition to four-wheel drive and finding your way on the reverse direction. When the track was in reverse, what was that like?
It was a big difference. I mean, like we're obviously used to the two-wheel drive layout. Like we've driven that for 3 days and then going to a whole different layout. I think the car wasn't there as fast as the two-wheel drive was. Like straight away, the two-wheel drive was there. Like since we haven't really tested the four-wheel drive on low grip that much. We didn't really have that much experience. So like it was just a big difference, really. Like we struggled a bit, but I think eventually we got there, and I think it's pretty happy with it. I mean, I like the layout. It was just hard. It was extremely hard. I think everyone would agree with me. It was hard, but it was good. So
It definitely looked like a fittingly difficult track for a world championship. You know, that four-wheel drive layout. The thing that I can't remember who said it in an interview that, you know, the two-wheel drive layout was all about flow and the four-wheel drive layout was all about the obstacles, and the corners just connected those obstacles. So it was about that triple, it was about the step up at the back, the chicane, the left side double, and the corners were, you know, the way you got from one obstacle to another. But actually it was the obstacles that made that track, that layout in that direction really difficult. Were you greasing that, trying to land the triple on the downside, Daniel, or, you know, jumping to the top of the tabletop?
I couldn't land the triple. Well, I
Okay.
had to land on top, so I just keep doing that.
Yeah.
But if I had a dodgy first double, I just done a double instead of tripling.
Yeah.
Like especially in qualifying, because I need a 5-minute run, so I couldn't risk it just for a few attempts. So
it's always sort of a game of risk versus reward. That's sort of what I generally try to tell people as well. Like, yeah, sure, you might be able to find a tenth or 2 tenths, maybe 3 tenths that are in a great situation where a triple is going to be way more beneficial than doing the safe line of a double single. But at the same time, unless you're comfortable doing that on a lap-to-lap basis, the consequences of a slight mislanding, you know, at the best case scenario, is probably going to be 2 to 3 seconds that you lose in the hands of a marshal or even just a rollover. And I think a lot of people sort of discount that and think, okay, well, I can make that time back, and you're really only making that sort of, once again, 2 to 3 tenths of a second versus that 2 to 3 seconds of lost time. Or in the worst case scenario, I saw a lot of broken cars coming over that triple as well. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think the challenge of that four-wheel drive layout was pretty well perfectly balanced. Realistically, it had those on power sections where you had to sort of pull the grip out of, you know, thin air. Realistically, getting the power down between that double into the triple to try and clear, I think it was something like 8 meters to make it into the landing zone of the triple, and that is a mammoth jump coming out of, you know, realistically a run up of less than a meter. Yeah. Did you have prior knowledge of what was going to happen with the layout going into four-wheel drive as well, or were you just turning up on the changeover day and going, oh, there's a big machine on track now?
I think it was on the was there a break? No, I think the last day of two-wheel drive. I think Yolanda Wade said they were running it backwards, and I had no idea. So I just drive, really. I mean, I don't like. That's it.
Perfect.
You gotta love it. I just drive. That's it. I just drive. Fantastic. Fantastic. Hey, Daniel, as best you can remember, can you talk to us a little bit about, you know, what sorts of setup changes you guys were playing with through four-wheel drive? You know, as you started on practice and as you went through qualifying, were there some things that you were doing with the car to try and get the balance you wanted?
I'm gonna try and think about this. Well, we had to change the oils and the diff quite a lot. Like,
yeah.
I think we're running 12K or something. I don't know, in the front rear, and I think 100K in the center. I don't. That's just a guess, honestly. I think that's what I remember. But
I'll ask your dad later. It'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else.
So you're making some changes as with temperature, but, you know, were there other nothing too big?
No, I mean, like, I'm trying to think. I think we had this. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it or not, but like we had this like a rear shock tower at different geometry.
Oh yeah, you're allowed to talk about that. That's fine. Don't worry about whatever Brent says. It's fine.
Hope I don't get dropped or anything. But
I don't think so. I don't think you will.
we had this rear shock tower. It was like it had different geometry, like where you could run the turnbuckles, so different positions. And I think we just went back to running the kit one. I think
Okay.
it just felt a bit easier to drive. We didn't run the KPI hubs. Oh, my blinds are opening. Sorry. We didn't run the KPI hubs on the front in the four-wheel drive. We just stuck what we know. So I think the rear shock tower being kit was the only thing that I remember really, and the different oils throughout the day.
There's something to be said for staying with what you know, isn't there? And the way that you are used to the car working. And we've only got to look at, Brock Champlin, who halfway through two-wheel drive qualifying sort of said, I'm going to start going back towards the kinds of setup that I know from home, and progressively changed his car more and more toward what he normally runs, and just went faster and faster. And so to go with something that you're comfortable with is, there's something to be said for that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think we wish we keep with the normal shock tower, rear shock tower and the rear, because that's what we knew. We mostly kept what we knew on the two-wheel drive. We done like some things we had to do on the two-wheel drive, but like things we knew about, we just kept with that. But four-wheel drive is a bit different. Like we didn't really know much about it because how new it is. So we've
There's a comment from Andrew Salvaggi. Right on cue. Too bad, Andrew. We've got him now. No, it's good.
I gotta quickly mention. One second here.
Yeah.
Did your blinds just automatically open themselves? What was going on there?
I don't know. I need to tell my dad to close it again. I think I can close it on my phone. Let's see if I can do it.
This is technology that we do not have here in Australia. This is groundbreaking stuff here. We still have blinds.
Must be nice.
To, throw it across the
nice.
room and try to hope that it sticks to the wall or something.
Yeah. Look, I'm here in my car in the middle of a thunderstorm, and Daniel's just there with his phone trying to close his blinds. That's how it works. I guess, Daniel, what I really want to ask you about is what are your takeaways? What are you've had this experience of traveling to the other side of the world with your family for a world championship. But what are your takeaways? What have you learnt? What's next? All that kind of stuff.
I've got a lot of experience on dirt now. I think that's the main thing. For future events. I think throughout international events, I think I get faster after. Like all the track time helps you a lot.
Yeah.
I think I definitely gotten a little bit faster since the Worlds, but I was at a carpet meeting right after the Worlds, so it was interesting to see where I was, and I was pretty quick. I thought I was just a bit inconsistent, but I definitely felt faster. I don't know why. It's weird. Like it's a bit confusing, really.
Yeah.
I need to turn on my lights. Sorry, can't see me.
Yeah, I'm sure you can do that on your phone.
I feel like now I'm the most organized person in the room.
Oh, there we go.
I've got lights. No, that's completely fine. But I'll quickly bring up a couple of photos you shared onto your Facebook page over at Daniel Paul RC as well. I'll bring that up. I have that sort of ready to go as well. And a couple of things I noticed, obviously, from your post, your photos that you have on the dirt there. You've also got another photo there of some signed rims on one of your cars. I'll quickly try to bring this up. Who did you get to sign the rims of your car?
Quite a lot of people. We had lots of just spare tires, and we said, let's just go around and let everyone else sign it. I know I got Marcus, obviously. I got Brock Champlin, Andrew Salvaggi, Aidan Horn, Davey Batter. I think I got David Ronafolk. There's a lot of other people I just can't really remember.
That's cool. That's cool experience. Yeah.
yeah, it's something to take away from the holiday. It's like nice to look back at it. I got those on my my window seal thing, my window ledge now, just sitting there. So it's quite cool
That's
to
awesome.
look back at it.
Yeah, and I think bringing take homes. We were lucky enough to get a couple of things as well coming out of it as well from the media side of things. But from a racing perspective, from my very first World Championship, I didn't bring in realistically anything back, and I was really disappointed with that. And I then went to the US World Championships, and I got a heap of people just to sign a heap of different things, and I did a giveaway whilst over there, and someone won a T-shirt that I got signed. But from my perspective, I got the IFMAR World Championships at Hobby Action, like a signed hat from both the two World Championships that year, and it's a really cool, cherished thing that I sort of hang on to. I'll never give that away. It's something that I'll sort of hold on to for a long time. But yeah, it's cool to see those sort of momentum, so the things that you hold on to after a World Championship, and I think pretty much everyone should do the same thing. We'll scroll on through your photos here as well. You got Fumisato there as well. Were you staying close by with Fuma?
Yeah, that was the hotel, and we're just sitting outside. I don't know what we were waiting for, but we just met Fuma there, and he's a really nice guy. So
Yep.
I've never met him before, and it's just nice to meet all the non-European drivers. It's a really good experience.
Yeah, Fuma's great, and it was great to have him there running the Kyosho. Oh, there you go.
Couple of kangaroos. The Silent Wolf. And onto the big thing. What a lot of people sort of came for. Now, coming into the event, you obviously would have known the fact that at a World Championships they have a junior world champion for both classes as well, correct?
Well, at some point we didn't think there was. We were just hoping there was, because yeah.
Okay, so I guess the last couple that I've been to as well, they have had it. I think Hoodie Arena is
Kovacic?
Forgotten the name. Yeah, Kovacic.
Yeah, it was Kovacic. Yep.
And then US, it was, I can't remember that one either. I think it was one of the US drivers, if I'm not mistaken. Now, coming into this event, was that one of the things you were hoping / gunning for, to become a junior world championship, a junior world champion at the IFMAR Worlds?
Oh yeah, I was looking through it was like a spreadsheet of the people who were there, and I was looking for all the juniors and trying to see, hopefully that could be the top one, and they worked out well.
And so, yeah, you managed to claim both two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive junior world champion. And that really puts you against alongside, I think, some pretty esteemed drivers that are now racing at that sort of top level. Are you pretty happy, to be potentially up against that sort of previous results and looking forward to the future?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I can't really believe it, honestly. Like, I don't appreciate enough that what I've done, basically. Like, I can't believe it. So
Is your
So
old man there as well?
If I'm remembering right, this, and again, I don't have my notes now with me, but Daniel, does that make you currently the UK, European, and World Junior Champion? Is that right?
I didn't get the 4-wheel drive British champion junior.
Okay.
I only got 2-wheel drive, but Charlie Saunders is an incredible driver. I mean,
yeah, he's a gun. Yeah, Charlie's. I know the name. Yep.
Yeah. I think some people did deserve to be there's loads of people who have the skill to be top 30, but they just weren't there. Like Charlie Saunders, I think he would have probably beat me or definitely been around me. He's an incredible driver, so I think just people just deserve to be there. There's loads of names, junior names, like Flos Hopkins, Archie Bowman as well. Just loads of drivers who deserve to be there that sadly can't. they've got the skill. It's just they can't be there. It's unfortunate.
It's a long way to Sydney from the other side of the
It
world.
really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
So I'm curious then about, like, for you, what's the next level? Like, how do you go from being the junior world champion in the having a really good seeding run, being in the C final, to say 2 years from now or 4 years from now, doing, say, Daniel Klobovic, junior world champion in 2019, and here he is finishing 4th and 6th in the 2 classes, in 2025. So, what's the next step for you and your dad?
Well, I don't think I'm at Daniel Klobovic level yet, because I think at the Hoodie Arena he was like 4th or 3rd or something. Like when he was an under 17 or whatever it was. But I think the next level, I think I just want to keep on improving. I want to win a national soon for the UK.
Yep.
I want to keep on winning the Scottish ones as well. I just want to keep improving. Like, I got that desire to keep improve. I mean, I just want to get better, really. Like, as soon as the meeting was done, I was like, I want to race again. I want to keep going. I just want to race.
That's good. Where do you hope the next World Championship is? Where would you like to see it be?
I want to see it the 1/8 e-buggy Euros. I don't want it to be in China. That's a long way away. If it is, I don't know what else tracks there is, but I think Spain would be a pretty good track for the Worlds.
So
Just
it's
as
pretty
long as
much the
it's
same track as what the e-buggy worlds was just hosted. It's virtually a glue/sand surface, correct?
I think so. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. What about on AstroTurf at Robin Hood Raceway or somewhere like that, close to home for you?
It would be good. It would be good, but I don't think Robin Hood want to run it. It's just like, I think it's too much money. I mean, you're not guaranteed to be in losses, but it's a lot of money. I mean, for clubs to do all that and the support that they get, and it would just be a lot to run it. I mean, it would be good. I would really like to see a Robin Hood. I mean, it's a short drive for us. It's about 4 hours, so it would
Just
be
down
nice.
the road. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's not far. Not far. But
Personally, I'd love to see it at Robin Hood as well. I've been saying it to a couple of people. I'd like to make the trip back over to the UK and race in the UK. So that's my vote. Apart from Sydney, obviously, home backyard, secondary worlds. Let's do it again. Replay. With Robin Hood, I think that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, as you mentioned there, it is tough for a club setting to do it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I would like to race there again, but I don't think we could, honestly. Like, all the traveling and all the money, traveling expenses. I mean, it would be good. It would be really good. But I think there's also other options. That's the thing. That's why I don't think they would run it here again. There's like other options. But I would like to race here again. It's just all that traveling. I mean, Spain would be good because it's in Europe. So I think that's the main thing, really, just traveling expenses. So
yeah.
Let's go back to Vasa in Finland. That was the 2011 track. I think 2011. I think the track's still there, as far as I know. Someone was telling me the other day that the track's still there. Yeah.
Wow.
Let's go back in time.
See if I can bring it.
So what's the summer? No, you're going into winter now, aren't you? So what's the winter like in the UK? You mainly go indoor carpet kind of now for the next few months? Is that kind of how it is, Daniel, for you?
Yeah, it's basically a break from racing. Like, it's extremely cold and depressing in Scotland, so it is. So we don't get any outdoor running. So we normally do indoors, but there's only 2 tracks in Scotland that's carpet, and they're both a minimum an hour drive, and they only run like, well, the first Dumfries round is, I think it's in mid-November ish. I'm not too sure, but we've got a little bit of a break, so I don't really know what I'm gonna do for a while. So I don't really like winter that much because I don't get to like do a lot as much as running. as we wish, but yeah. I like carpet as well, but Astros and outdoors is just better.
Yeah. Well, it'll be fantastic to see what your 2026 British National Series is like for you, and how much you continue to improve and kick on, and all those other young guys that you just were talking about before, Charlie, and the others that going to try and bring it to. Tommy's not that old himself, is he? So he's almost a veteran now, but he's not that old. He's only fairly young himself. And then you got Ben Smith, and it's a great scene in the UK. Yeah, really competitive. Not to forget people like Lee Martin, of course, who are still floating around and fast. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think next year's going to be quite competitive again. Like there's so many good drives in the UK. Like the top 10 is just fast. It's really hard, I think. So.
Yeah. One of the things I've really appreciated this year is the British National Series has been live streamed. So, we've always been able to keep up with what's been happening, but now we can actually sit up on a Sunday night while we wait for the Formula One to start and catch up on a little bit of qualifying on an Astro track somewhere in the UK. It's been cool to watch. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Have you noticed over there in both the UK and Europe this new age of young drivers sort of merging through, and it seem to all be at the similar sort of age of anything between say 14 to 19, I would say. It seems to sort of be a bit of an emergence over here in Australia. Have you noticed something similar in the UK / around Europe as well? That just a random quick emergence of young talented drivers.
I think the main one who I know will be good is Nino. I don't know if you know him, but he's like 11, and he was second at the European. For the juniors he was second. He's like 11, and he was fast. He was really, really fast. So I expect to see him soon. I definitely seen like loads of fast drivers. I mean, I'm getting worried. Like for next year, for the junior championships, I'm worried because there's just gonna be loads of fast drivers. I mean, there always has been for the juniors, but there's like upcoming really fast drivers. I mean, when they get of age, they get smarter in track as well. They listen to their dads as well. That was my main problem. I didn't listen to my dad.
You just said that to the whole world, right? You just confessed that to the whole world. I don't listen to my dad. Yeah.
Oh, he's just coming.
Luckily, your dad's listening to you right now.
I do listen to him now. I do now. So.
So yeah, EOS coming in a workshop series as well.
Yeah.
So,
Workshop is the Cork one I was telling you about.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. In EOS, obviously, you know about that. It's probably one of my favorite events. I think it's just like it's basically the same as Australia, like the environment almost. I think like it's at a sports hotel, and your hotel is like a minute walk away. Like it's at the track basically. It's really cool. So I'm excited for that as well, and workshop.
It looks good. We should go, Mitch. What do you think? Let's go over to EOS.
Oh yeah, quick weekend away over to Europe. Yeah, just a casual 24-hour flight over there for 2 days to fly 24 hours back. What do you think?
Look, we've done sillier things. We have done sillier things. That would be cool. Yeah.
Now, coming out of this event as well, Daniel, obviously you made some incredible memories at trackside. And you've made some awesome friends and all sorts of stuff. Do you have a memory that you're going to come home cherishing for the rest of your life from Australia? What's your fondest memory?
I think it's got to be when I was walking up to the ceremony, like getting the trophy. I think I won't forget that. I mean, it's a crazy experience. Like, I just can't believe it, really. Like after like a good result. Like I don't really realize what I've done. I don't know how to explain it. Like I can't really realize that junior world champion. Like that is pretty crazy. So yeah, I'm really happy with it.
Your father there jumping
Yeah, it
in
should
as well, going USA and Germany on carpet, also a Lego hoodie arena on dirt.
I would like to do the hoodie arena, but it's so much traveling. Yeah, we're doing EOS in Germany, but hoodie arena would be good. That was a really good track in my opinion.
Where's European? Where's the Afro Champs next year, Daniel? Do you know?
It's in Austria.
Okay.
So it's on AstroTurf, which is good, but it's S-Works home track. I think it's like loads of the S-Works
Okay.
guys would be good. It's basically like the hoodie arena, like for the extra guys. So I expect loads. Like I expect Mika Widmeyer probably podium minimum, basically. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I expect a lot of people
Okay.
will be practicing on that.
Is it outdoor Astro or in like undercover or?
I've not actually seen it yet, but I'm quite sure it's
Okay.
outdoor Astro. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to
Oh,
it
that'll.
because
Yeah.
Astro. Yeah, and
I
we're
see
not
the
like
S-Works have got Misha and Jorn Neumann in the US this week at the Masters of Dirt Race at Hobby Action.
yeah.
Heading over there. It's a shame they couldn't in the end make it to Australia. It would have been great to have them at the Worlds.
Oh yeah.
But,
I mean, it's weird. It's
continuing
weird
to.
why they didn't
Yeah.
come. So
Yeah.
it'll be good to see them. I expect Jorn and Mika, I reckon, will be the top guys at Austria. So
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. First tips for the Euros next year. It's good.
And another question here, and these are actually coming external. They're way too well put together to come from myself. These are coming from Tony First from RCRA's Media. Do you know what you want to do in the future, say outside of school? Like, is there something in particular that you're looking forward to, that you're studying for, anything like that?
Well, I'm just about to go into prelims. I don't know what that is in Australia, but it's like pre-exams basically. But I'm not really too sure what I want to do in the future. It has to be around cars. I think I just like cars in general. I mean, I just couldn't imagine doing anything that isn't involved in cars. I mean, I've got an interest in it, so like I kind of know a bit about it. Like I'm taking physics in school and like engineering science. That's like talking about like the mechanical bits of it. I think I learn a lot from cars, like doing RC. Like in class right now, I'm doing like spur gears and idle gears and loads of stuff, and I already have like a basic understanding of it. And I think
Yeah.
just RC helps a lot about it. So yeah, it's good.
We during the World's coverage, we had the chance to chat with Jamie Smith, who talked a little bit about his study that he's doing in the realm of motorsport, and also Ray Munday, Australia's Ray Munday, who's worked his whole career in the motorsports and motoring industry. And Ray talks a lot about how much he's learned from RC that he's able to apply, and vice versa. I think so. Both those interviews were in the coverage, but we will be releasing a bunch of those interviews separately over the next few weeks. So they're two interviews that were really interesting with people that are a little bit ahead of you, Daniel, in terms of life and career, but have followed that path. So that's cool. Yeah, work hard, stay in school, kids.
I will.
See what you can become. I had to put my dad hat on there for a moment. Yeah.
There's a good comment here from Andrew Savaggi. Generally, you leave a world and return home with the experience and also some additional knowledge about racing, setup, etc. What did you learn from the event that you'll use going forward? It's a good question on top of that as well.
Oh, I'm not too sure to be honest. I think just track time. That helped a lot. I don't know if we really learned anything. I mean, the gearbox was good, but like from driving perspective, I think maybe a few things like I think before that I was saying to myself, if someone's behind you, just concentrate on yourself. Like don't concentrate on them. Just a few things that I should be doing anyway. Like just concentrate on myself. Resetting between rounds, like just don't think about the previous round. I think that helped a lot because in four-wheel drive I had basically two DNFs, like two bad runs. So just got to reset and just be consistent. Really, I think that's it. Just like mentality stuff, a bit from the event. So yeah.
So you did learn some stuff. Look at that. Just listed off a whole bunch of fantastic lessons that you learned. Yeah. Good things to take away.
Yeah. Oh. Sorry, my mum's at the door. Don't know what she's doing.
You can just open the door from your phone, right? Is that how it works in your house?
But not everything automatic.
Sorry, Daniel. It's just jealousy.
Yeah, we're behind the times over here. We live about 10 years behind normal society. Luckily, New Zealand is another 5 years behind us, so we're at least on a positive with that one.
Don't insult our Kiwi brethren, Mitch. There's some of them will be watching. You don't have to insult them. There's not even electricity at my house at the moment, so I'm jealous of anyone that's got electricity.
Yeah. It's okay. They don't have Wi-Fi over there yet. We're fine. They can't tune in yet. Give them a couple of years, they'll watch that back and they'll be angry in 2 years' time. Okay. We'll move on a little bit here. We'll head over to final result placings, that sort of side of things here, as we've been chitter-chattering on for a decent amount of time, and still got a bit of stuff that I'd like to talk about after this as well. So I'll quickly screen share this as well. See if I can quickly bring this up without mincing it. Yep, we press the wrong button.
I love watching you work, Mitch. I love the way that you can't talk and move your mouse at the same time.
It's a very good skill that I do not possess. That's what I will say. Okay, over to two-wheel drive. You end up in the C main, as we were talking about through qualifying just before, and finishing 23rd overall. One big thing that I sort of like to note here as well was the two drivers in front of you, of Ben Smith and Nate Sutherland. You know, very well-renowned drivers, but also noticeably both Schumacher drivers. And we know coming into the end of two-wheel drive that the Schumacher drivers seem to find something, whether it was pace, whether it was track coming to them. You know, that sort of really came into play. How close of a battle do you end up having with those guys, and do you think you were competitive against them?
Well, I think I had a scrappy start, so I wasn't too close to them. I mean, I was only 3 seconds off, but they're battling as well, so they would slow each other down. But I wouldn't say I was far off the pace of them, but I think Ben, he seated quite low, so he had like the best track from the last round. I think it was Heat 9. So we had a really good last run, I'm pretty sure. So I got him up into the C. I'm not sure how Nate done, but they're both extremely good drivers. I don't think I'm there yet, but I mean, I'm happy to be around them, really. And like looking down, like Fuma and Yui and Jared Ment, like all of them are extremely fast drivers. So I'm quite happy to be there.
Yeah, and there's some incredible talent from Australia there, as well as from all around the world. As you mentioned there, Jared Ment, Jordan Isidin, Mason Hubert, Christopher Sturdy, who was many time national champion here over in Australia, along with Jamie Hall rounding out the C main field. So some pretty prestigious names that you were up against in the C main. Like it's realistically, there's some names in there that if you threw them into an A main at a World Championships, I don't think you'd be really that shocked by them being up there. So I think it's a high reward for your incredible driving that you put on through qualifying to get yourself into that C main field, which was really skillful.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, you should be really proud, really pleased.
Thank you.
Now, over to four-wheel drive as well. I'll once again talk and work at the same time here. Thank you very much, Scotty. You've made me feel extremely conscious about what I'm doing. So
Come on, Mitch. It's you know I love you, buddy. It's
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
if if I
Okay,
had my
there we go.
laptop, I would be able to do that and help you, but I just all I can do is insult you instead.
We have very good banter over here in Australia, Daniel. Don't worry, we are friends. We may not sound like friends. We are incredibly good friends. Over to four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive, as you mentioned there, you had a slightly slower start going through the four-wheel drive portion through qualifying, but still making it into the C main. How did you sort of, I guess, evolve through qualifying, coming into the final? Did you change much coming into the final, and what overall happened in your C final?
Well, my final didn't go well, but I think no matter where I finish in the C, I would be happy. Like the final basically just went to pieces. So I went off the line, and the guy in front of me didn't really move, and I went around and I grip rolled, and I was in a fence for about 8 seconds. I think there's a screenshot on my Facebook post of how far away I was from everyone else. Like it was me going over the corner tabletop and then them just on like a whole different lane. Like I lost about 8 seconds. So I mean I'm just happy to be in the C final. I mean there's extremely good drivers in that, like Luke Holdsworth, and I think I'm really happy where I got, just not the final result, because yeah, I mean I think I was catching up to them at the end, but I was just so far back that yeah, I mean
And that's single finals go like that sometimes, don't they? You get the worst of it on the first lap.
yeah.
There's not much you can do once you're in that position. You can try and fight back as best you can, but yeah, if you shed 8 seconds on the first lap, what do you do? Yeah,
it truly was the worst final start I've ever had. It was atrocious. I mean, I went around and I think I hit a bump and I just grip rolled. So yeah, I was still catching up, but I'm happy for C main. It's not the end of the world. That
no, it's fantastic. Yeah, that's top 30 in the world, isn't it? It's
exactly, yeah. I
top
mean, I
30 in the
got those.
world and on a surface you're not familiar with. First time, you spoke earlier about it being really the first time on dirt, on proper dirt, and
Yeah. I mean,
it seems to me, Daniel, there are some people whose way of driving, call it a driving style, is it's a phrase we often use, but whose driving style or way of driving just suits. And you looked all week like that to me as I watched. You just looked like the way you drive the car suits that kind of surface and that kind of grip conditions, if you like. And so I guess that's my last question. And Mitch will be back with us in a moment. He might have a couple of things, but did you just feel at ease and comfortable on the surface, and did it feel kind of natural for you?
yeah. I mean, even though it's my first proper dirt race, I just felt natural. Like I felt like I've been driving on it for a long time, and it just felt nice to drive on. I wasn't struggling or anything. I just drove really. So I like that. I mean, that's the whole thing I got from the event. I like that.
Excellent. That is the perfect answer. I like that. Hey, what did you make of the tyres? I don't know if Mitch asked you that before I joined back in, but the control tyres, all right for you?
Yeah. I mean, we in two-wheel drive. We were between the. I don't know what the tires similar to the rear tires, like the.
Yeah, the raw speed, the mini pin.
Yeah, those front ones and the rips. We were changing between them, and we ran the raw speed ones all through seeding and the first no all through practice and seeding, and we decided everyone's going quicker with the rips. So first quali we just went for it and it worked out well. Like going for unknown tire was a bit, should we do this or not? But it felt similar in some places, but it was just faster. I don't know how to explain it. It just was faster. So I'm glad we went with the rips.
I'm afraid to ask this question because of what the answer might be, but have you ever had ribbed front tyres on a two-wheel drive buggy that you've driven before? Have you ever driven with a ribbed tyre?
Nope, never.
Uh, I'm so old, Daniel, honestly. Yeah, I thought that's why I was afraid to ask the question. If I'm honest, it just occurred to me you might never have done that in your whole life, and
No.
that's what we grew up doing on dirt. Anyway, there you go. Yeah, yeah. Hey, what's it been like for you and your dad to, for your relationship with your dad to travel around the world to, and your mum was with you as well, was she? I can't remember. I've met so many
She
people
was at
now.
Euros. She's at the Euros,
Yes,
but I think
not the
my
world's.
sister wanted a bit of like support because she was starting.
Okay.
I think she's starting college, so my mum had to stay home.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay.
it was just me and my dad, and I think like
Yeah.
our relationship has gotten a lot better. Like just going
Mm.
to RC races, I think it just
Yeah.
helps. I mean, we talk a lot. I mean, we're nice to each other most of the time until I get a bad result.
Does your
But
dad drive at all? Does he race himself back home?
he used to. I want him to get back into it, but I think he just wants to
Yeah.
concentrate on me. I think he wants to get back in on it as well. But yeah, I want him to get back for like a Scottish regional or something like that. I want
Yeah.
to see how he does because he's fast. I mean, well, he was fast, but he was like top 50 nationals. I think that was
Okay.
all right.
Yeah.
I mean, so I would like to see him back, but it's just whatever he thinks. So maybe he could do a vintage race with an RC10 or something, or something
There you go. He and
like
I,
that.
he and I will go. He and I will go head to head sometime at a vintage race. What as you kind of look forward, do you think you would like to kind of take on more of the wrenching and the mechanic work, or what's the partnership like now? And do you see yourself kind of getting more and more hands on yourself, or do you really like having your dad on the tools?
I think my dad, like, I can do the stuff, like, I can do the changes, but I think my dad understands what to change. So I
Yeah.
come off from a run and I say, oh, I need something different, like more grip, or I need some more on power steering, or it handles a bit
Mm.
funny. He'll say, okay, I know what to do. I could do
Yeah.
the changes, but he knows what to do, so
Yeah.
he just does it. But I think I could do it. I probably could do the all that kind of stuff, but I think just having him there for now I think is
Yeah.
very helpful.
Well, he's just been listening to you, telling him how much you love working with him. So I think you'll be around for a little while yet.
Hopefully, hopefully.
Mitch did appear there, and then he's disappeared again and left. So what else did we talk about, Daniel? Well, Mitch does whatever he's doing in the background.
I don't
Um,
know. I mean, we could talk about you. How was your experience of the Worlds?
I, let's you interview me. I like this. This is good. Yeah.
Oh no.
I loved it. I loved being a part of the World Championship. To be in the middle of it all and to sit. And I don't. It was a very privileged position that I was in to be able to sit trackside for the whole time and watch, just about every race, and to watch the track evolve and to watch the teams and the mechanics wrestle with things and to kind of see the way the event kind of played out. And that, yes, we're getting a bit philosophical here, but that's the story of racing is what I, particularly enjoy. At this point in my career, I'm not a fast racer anymore. It's arguable whether I ever was, but I'm certainly not anymore. But what I do love is the chance to be at an event like that and to see people like yourself, come and learn and grow and achieve something really cool. And so then I start thinking about the long story of what does the next 2 years look like before the next World Championship, and how does someone like yourself or like Dylan Toyer, who we spoke about earlier, or Phoenix Eggleton, these young drivers, Charlie Saunders, the young drivers in the UK, where do you guys all get to over the next 2 years is a story that I'm interested in
I'm
kind of
excited for the
keeping an eye
future.
on. Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
I got another question. What was your favorite thing about the Worlds? Both of you.
um, in terms of moments, I really loved the kind of introduction to the four drive finals that, right before
Oh,
A2,
yeah, that
that,
was cool.
the grandstand buzzing and the drivers getting high fives and, that whole thing was amazing. But to see, there were some moments like to see Jonas, come, racing in to celebrate with Marcus, winning or top qualifying. That kind of moment was really cool to see. Jürgen Lautenbach carry the flag for the German team with his son in the team on opening day. Those kinds of moments for me were the moments that I really loved. Yeah. How about you, Mitch?
Oh no.
What? Come on, Mitch, you can do it. What were your favourite moments?
uh,
He's not talking. Well, no, I won't tell you stories about Mitch. We'll save that for another podcast. If anyone's got a funny story about Mitch, in the comments right now, or direct message me privately. I'm going to start collecting some Mitch stories. I can hardly see the screen, so I'm not sure if Mitch actually is trying to talk or isn't. No, he's disappeared.
I think
Yeah, mate. So I think for me, those kinds of things were really cool to see the family stuff. To see a bunch of families here from overseas and racing together and just the whole, the way the club kind of pulled off an event of that sort of scale, was amazing. So they're the things that I will, cherish and remember, I suppose, and then to have the opportunity to be in the middle of it all, to stick a microphone in front of people 300 times over the weekend and say, tell me a story, tell me a little bit of your story. That's a genuine privilege that we get to do in the part of the event that we contribute to, and it's very cool. Yeah.
I think it's awesome that we get like sort of the F1 experience. Like we get interview after the race, or it is
Yeah.
pretty cool. Like it's RC racing, and we get interviews after the races, and it's live streamed as well, and commentary as well. And it's awesome how much like it's they just gone all out basically. Like with the interviews, I thought it was awesome with the interviews as well. Like getting to
There was
hear
a
what they
great
thought.
story from the young US racer called Connor Esbeck. So Connor, I think, is 11 maybe. I think up around San Diego. I think his family's from, and his class at school were watching his races, and whenever he got interviewed, that they would send a link back to school, and his class would watch him be interviewed. And at one stage, we gave the microphone to him and got him to interview Matty Gonzalez, who he knows from home, and so there was. Yeah, it was, for someone like Connor, a young, a young driver, first international kind of race meeting, first time in Australia to have an experience like that, and to have his family and friends back home be able to kind of share that experience with him. And I would have loved to have been in his class the day that he went back to school. It would have been cool to see what the reception was like. So, which suggests to me to ask you that, what's it been like since the world's going, back to club racing? Have you kind of caught up with friends who had the chance to watch it and wanted to know, what it was all like, and how's the response been back home?
Like when we went to that carpet meeting, it was
Yeah,
so nice. Like from everyone, they're just saying well done or
yeah,
congratulations, or they'll ask me how it was, and it was really nice. I mean, it's a nice feeling, obviously, but
hmm,
it's really nice because all my friends were watching as well. They sent me videos of them watching and supporting. Uh, it's just like really nice. I mean, you don't get that
yeah.
experience anywhere else. So
No. When will all the crew that were here from the UK next race together? Will it be a workshop event or or EOS, or will it not be till next year when the nationals roll around again?
I think the whole crew, for the whole crew, it would be EOS or it probably EOS because
Hmm.
it's like I think Tommy doesn't do Bury. That's the copy meeting, but the
Yeah,
Holdsworths and Ben did
yeah,
Bury, and then William Venables is very far down of England, so he wouldn't do Bury, and I wouldn't go all the way down London type of place.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a long time until we all race against each other at the same time. I'm looking forward to it.
it was really good to meet the whole UK team and people like William and Ben and the Halls and Holdsworth family, and yeah, it was cool to meet all of you guys. So today in England is the annual general meeting of the BRCA, if I understand correctly. Do you keep an eye on what's happening at that? I think your dad might be there, but are you kind of aware of what rule changes might be discussed for next year?
I'm not too sure. I think there's going to be a tyre road change, but I, I'm not too sure yet. I'm sure I'll get all the news from my dad when he's driving home. So I'm excited to
What's the
see what he
current? What are
says.
the current tyre rules? What's the current tyre rules for British National Series?
It has to be like available to buy.
Yep.
And then you can run as many sets as you want. I
Yep.
think
So
that's
is it
the thing they're going to change.
is it a specific tyre that you all have to run the same tyre, or is it sort of open?
Schumacher mezzos on the rear.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't. It's not controlled on the front, so you can do whatever
Okay.
you want at the front.
Yeah.
But it has to be
Yeah.
commercially available. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's not
Yeah.
the thing.
And you think they might be exploring a change in a control in the quantities
Yeah. Yeah.
for next year? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the argument is that someone, if they're on a bad run, they can just pull over or to save
Yeah.
tires. I don't know. It's so many like counter arguments. Like all
Mm.
that money
Mm.
going to tires.
Yeah.
Like probably spend crazy amount like a set run. I mean, sometimes it's better to run worn tires, but
Mm.
mostly on Astra, it's better to run brand new. Or
Yeah.
it's just so many counter arguments. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear. Like,
Yeah.
and there's going to be a new chairman as well. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see who that's going to be. We'll see what
Yeah, so we'll
happens.
do. I mean, we will then take the chance to do a shout out to Martin Owen, who's been in the chair, hasn't he, for the last couple of years? And Martin's well known around the world. He's had some time in the US, and he's been a fixture with the British team and the Schumacher team at big events. And from a distance, from the other side of the world, it looks like he's done a really good job. So kudos to you, Martin. Not that you'll be watching, because I'm sure you're at the BRCA meeting, but well done for the work that he's done over the last few years. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just they just don't change any rules. I think that's what they just keep it how it is. But I think the tire rules the only rule they should change because I think the meetings are run perfectly fine. I just think the tire rule is the only one that they should change if they're going to change something. Change the tire rule.
Yeah. If you need to go, you let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to keep asking you questions until Mitch comes back and tells me to shut up. Do you only do 10 scale off road? What's your, do you look at any other categories? Do you have a go at anything else outside of 10th off road?
I've driven a 1/8 Nitro Kyosho from Oliver Natris. It was a good experience. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I do want to get like maybe an e-buggy or I don't think we could do Nitro. I mean, I want to do the Harper Adams race, Neil. I think
Yes.
that'll be awesome.
Yes.
Like just like because the plan is to do like a one-off race, and I think that's like the perfect opportunity. Because I don't think it would get into 1/8 Nitro. It's like all the stuff in it. So I think maybe e-buggy in the future. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, e-buggies, it's grown so much, hasn't it? And now it's a world championship class. And
yeah,
and you're right about that. The Harper Adams race. I think I don't know. Is there a date? Is there a date yet for it? But that will be a race that everyone in the whole world. Yeah. I think that's. I wasn't quite brave enough to say it, but I feel like I've heard Easter. It was such an incredible race for so many years, which you will not remember, but I remember. So to see that race come back to, or a race come back to that venue, will be very cool.
yeah.
And I think it's home, right? It's in your own country. You surely have to get an e-buggy and go race at that.
Yeah, is it mobile class? Is it e-buggy and Nitro or?
I assume they'll run both classes, but I don't.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I know I'd love to be there to see it all, and we've watched that race over so many years. It would be cool to be a part of it. But send a message to Brent and say, I'm a junior world champion. Send me an e-buggy. Yeah, that's fine.
I would love to go. Like I've been watching the Come Drive With Us videos, I've been
Yep.
watching like the Neo races, and
Yeah.
it just looked awesome. Like the track layouts were always awesome. Like on VRC, there's a few, I think 3 Neo layouts, and they're so
Yep.
good to drive. I mean, it's like
Yep.
big, like properly big jumps, like a feature every corner basically, and that's what I love basically.
Do you use VRC as part of your own practice and training, or is that just sometimes for a bit of fun?
It can't, like, if I'm like racing with my friends or something, it's a bit of fun. But like
Yeah.
before a worlds, if it's grip like low grip, I'll practice low grip. If it's high grip, I'll practice high grip. So you're sort of getting ready, used to it, to the
Yeah.
different grip levels.
And was that a helpful thing before you came to race in Australia?
I think definitely. Like I think that's the only reason why I was pretty much where I wanted to be straight away into two-wheel drive. It was almost like I'd driven on that grip already, just going out. I think it just helped a lot. Just going straight into it, really, with the low grip.
What is your favourite VRC track?
Oh, that's a hard one. I think, I don't really know. It might maybe like a Neo track or a Silver Dollar track, or Naxos is pretty good track, I think. I remember you came over to interview us while we were playing that. Naxos.
That's right. Yeah. You guys were having some fun. Yeah.
But
I
I'm
think
not really
Jamie
too
was
sure.
driving and he kept on crashing, if I remember rightly.
Yeah. I think he was struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm not too
That's
sure.
right.
I think Silver, probably one of the Silver Dollar tracks. I think that's the one I practice on most, I would say. And I do like touring car as well for carpet racing, like practicing for carpet racing. I did touring car high grip. It's weird, but it's sort of like, it's basically carpet racing without jumps. I mean, that is it.
Yeah.
But it sort of helps me get ready for it, because there isn't really two high grip tracks on that on VRC. So I just do touring car or pan car or something like that.
Have you had a crack at touring car racing? Is that something you've explored a little bit in the real world? Yep.
I drove a GT12, I think, and the
Okay.
LMP.
Yep.
I think they're really good. I mean, my eyes are bleeding basically. Like it's so sore to just concentrate and keep your eyes open.
Yeah.
And it's a really small track that I have raced on, so like you cannot blink. But it's really good fun. Like I don't think I would ever get into it properly. I mean, it was just like because all of our friends were doing it, and we're like, let's give it a try. And we borrowed I can't remember what his name is, but we borrowed someone's car, which is very nice of him. So we just gave that a shot, and it was fun. So hopefully I can do that with a e-buggy or something soon.
Like I say, send Brent a message. I need to have an e-buggy, Brent. We're gonna let's talk about this. You got to do it. They're great fun. 8 scale. That's a class that I race a bit at the moment, and it's fabulous fun. Endless power, big jumps. What's not to like?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you? I mean, there are so many questions I want to ask now, and if Mitch doesn't come back, I have no control. I can't even end the stream. So, here he is. He's back.
I think I'm back.
Last question from me,
back.
Daniel. What do you love the most about RC? You know, what is it that keeps you kind of fired up to keep going racing? What do you love the most?
My friends. That's it.
Yeah.
My friends. I think.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, I wouldn't have stopped. I think maybe I lost a bit of interest in it. I love the racing, but I think off track, having your friends with you makes such a big difference. I think I enjoyed the Euros more than I did the Worlds, because the amount of friends I had from the UK, it just made such a big difference. Like all the memories I had from the Euros, I think it's 50-50. Like the racing and off track, it just makes such a big difference when you've got your friends there. So I would definitely say my friends.
Nice. Mitch, this is a young man who is mature beyond his years. It's been fabulous to have a chat with him. Back to you, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope you guys can hear me now. Having to run through the Logitech web camera microphone, because for some reason my normal one has just decided it doesn't want to play ball I'm going to blame it on the lightning storm as well. Had nothing to do with it, but I'm going to take full blame onto that. Nothing to do with me at all. Yeah, no, it has been really good to talk to you, Daniel. We've sort of shared the chit chat in some ways due to beautiful weather that we have over here and technical difficulties left, right, and center. But yeah, it's been a really cool chat to have with you, Daniel. It was awesome to see you drive over here. From my side personally, I hadn't heard or did not know about you coming into this event. Coming out of the event, from my side, I'm really looking forward to watching you race. Moving forward through the EOS rounds, through any race that you'll be going to. I look forward to sort of following aboard with, what you're doing, how you're going, that sort of side of things, and really hope that you continue to pursue what you're enjoying. And that's the main thing. As long as you're enjoying doing it, I really hope that you continue doing what you enjoy. So it was great to meet you whilst we were over here in Australia, and it's been incredible to have a conversation with you today. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your Sunday. Hopefully you get out and do something, get out to the world, go to a track or something. Enjoy the rest of your day, mate.
Thank you, you too. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure to have you at the Worlds, of course, the commentary and the interviews as well. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Not a problem.
Great to chat again, mate. We'll look forward to seeing you again.
I look forward to it too.
Righty. Well, talk to you soon, Dan.
Bye. Thank you very much.
It's probably 5 degrees and raining outside in Scotland, Mitch. I doubt he's going outside. It's it's not the right time of year.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's
what a fantastic kid, hey? Like talent for sure, but character, is and obviously family, and you got to love families, RC families like that, and so fabulous to see him come over here at the Worlds and have a great experience. And you have to think, in 2 years or 4 years' time, he's just going to be right knocking on the door of an A final. What a great young man. Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope so. Really cool families mentioned there as well. Duncan.
Did I just say what a great young man? I think I just said what a great young man. How old do I sound when I say what a great young man?
You're the perfect age, Scotty. You are the perfect age to be saying that exact sentence. I'm telling you.
What a lovely young man. Yeah.
But yeah, really cool family. And I think that I got the opportunity to meet a lot of really cool families down in Sydney. A lot of people that I didn't really know of. The Esbecs you mentioned before, I quickly caught up on as well. They were a really cool family. Young talent as well as Connor. But the whole family, just really cool. And there was a lot of sort of families that we sort of met over there. And we talked about it during the stream a couple of times as well. The fact that it really felt like a family world. So a lot of people had come over, not just to race, but, obviously the travel part as well as bringing the whole family for a whole, trip over, which was really cool, which is really awesome.
It was one of the great features of this event was the number of families, fathers and sons racing, both racing, or fathers and sons or mothers and, working together, whatever it was, brothers racing against each other. Like there were so many family connections. It was really cool.
Yeah. Now, I do want to quickly touch on a couple of things here. I won't let you sit in your car all night long, wherever you are in the suburbs of Brisbane. But for the media side of things, Scotty, I know that you have worked quite a lot with RC Race Media, along with myself. I've worked a fair bit with them in the past. But coming to this event, we knew that Tony and Matt were stepping up the game a fair bit, and we knew that they were going to put in a lot more effort, and we could see the work they were doing. But did you expect the level of sort of production that we end up having coming out of that event?
I actually want to say yes, because I know how much work Tony and Matt put into it, and I know that the vision they had for what they wanted to do with the coverage was something that we spoke about a lot over the last couple of years. And so, nothing that we did was a surprise, because I knew that's exactly what they wanted to do. And they're incredibly talented, like they're just two fantastic people who work so hard to contribute to the sport in the way that they contribute to the sport, which, in this instance is the media stuff, but Tony's like so involved in running his club at Penrith District Nitro Racing, an on-road club in Sydney, and big events. And Matt, likewise, his club's currently closed. The facility's been closed for a little bit, but I think they'll be back. I hope they'll be back soon. So they both just work so hard, and so actually, no, I wasn't surprised at all, because I know, we'd talked a lot over the last 2 years about the vision that they both had for it, and the group of people that they were able to assemble, and most of those were never seen on camera. So people like Colin, who for his day job does video editing for supercars coverage at Bathurst, and he's probably been on the Gold Coast this weekend covering supercars, and but he was there for a few days with us, helping to cover the Worlds. So they gathered some fabulous people, and then it went with their vision of how they wanted to tell the story of the event. So, sorry, long answer. You should know by now. Always get a long answer. It was good.
No, that's perfectly fine. I'm just trying to bring up the photo. We have it in the background there. I'm going to try and bring it up to the foreground so we can talk whilst it's in front of us. So this is pretty much our media crew there, and as you did mention there, there's a couple of guys that couldn't be available for our last day, the photo day, but this is majority of our media crew that helped out throughout the event. Obviously you have Matt, Tony being the main two from RC Race Media, but on top of that, you also had a fair few people such as Nick. I know you rattle off names. I'm awful with names. But even like Lexi, Tony's daughter, and they were all putting in such an incredible effort to sort of make this run just so good, and just create this awesome atmosphere that we sort of put together. And I've looked back on it a couple of times now, and one thing that I have always struggled with, and I know it's a thing that a lot of people struggle with, is listening to yourself talk. Now, I will always struggle to listen to myself talk, but at the same time, I've sort of looked back on a lot of it and gone, that is a proper, coverage. That is an ESPN level of coverage, and a lot of people have sort of mentioned that as well. So I really feel as if what RC Race Media have sort of put together was just incredible. It was good for the hobby. I think it was the full package, and I know Matt and Tony, as you mentioned there, you're not surprised the fact that it came out so good. I think they had a lot more in their vision as well. They had more that they wanted to do.
That's all right. We can't do everything the first time. We'll save some for next time.
Yeah, exactly. And I probably looking back on the pre-worlds, the upgrades that they made from the pre-worlds to the worlds, and then moving forward from there was just awesome. Moving on a little bit here as well, the other media sort of side of things, we also had, as we were talking just before, William Venables from the UK. He was doing a lot of the videography sort of side of things for RC Racing TV, doing helping with their daily updates, and also grabbed Scotty Ernst every now and then to help out with that as well, which was really cool. On top of that, there was also quite a few photographers there, Red RC, who snapped our photo in the background here as well. And I didn't ask Ocean if we could use this, to be honest, so he might copyright strike me. So I'm trying to give him a shout out in reservation here. No,
I think you'll be all right.
Yeah, we stayed with Ocean, and it's the second time I've met him, and he is just an awesome dude. Really funny gentleman from Ireland. Says Yaman a lot, and every time he said it, I had a great giggle. Such an awesome, legendary fella. So Red RC. J Concepts, I had Chris Circus there. So you can go and look at all these photos as well coming out of the event via either Red RC's Facebook or J Concepts with Chris Circus taking the photos there. And also Steve Watts Racing Photography. I think they were the main three. I'm sure that there's probably other people that took photos. Steve's photos, as per usual, for Steve Watts Racing Photography is just, some of his quality is just incredible and right up there with the best in the business. So the media side of things coming out of the Worlds, I think, was just at another level. We managed to diversify it to, we were talking before, RC Racing TV. We had live streams running on their channel. as well as live RC, as well as Scotty Ernst Productions. You know, we had it streaming such a large variety. And I think that really, really helps to, I guess, boost the hobby. What are your sort of thoughts on all of this, Scotty?
Yeah, I mean, you and I, Mitch, and others are passionate about telling the story, and we get excited to do that. We can't do that without the races that are there making the story, and we can't do that without the club that is putting on the fabulous event. And, you know, IFMAR, and so many people work so hard. I think what I really loved about the media side at this Worlds was the way that all of the different media outlets that were there kind of collaborated and worked together. So, you know, it wasn't like, you know, there was competition between different kind of media groups. Everybody was there kind of working together and learning from each other and drawing on each other's kind of insights. And, you know, so for the RC Racing Daily TV show, which I thought was fantastic, you know, to have people from our team be a part of that, to have O'Sheen from Red RC be a part of that. So those kinds of, you know, where there's collaboration and cooperation, and the whole purpose is to tell the story, to, you know, to give people the insight into what's going on and what it's like to be there. And, you know, and the story of Connor Esbeck, which we told before, is the exact reason why, you know, we do what we do. And it's also the reason behind the way that we do it. So we don't only interview the winner, like we, you know, interview the guy who will never be seen on television, who's, you know, finished fourth in the, you know, M final or whatever it is. Like, you know, everyone's got a story and a voice, and part of our own commitment to covering RC is unearthing some of those other stories that are not only about Brock Champlin and Marcus Carup, as fabulous as those stories are, and they are, and we love to tell those stories, but we also love to tell the story of Connor Esbeck, you know, or Dylan Toyer, or whoever it might be, Peter Seckel, you know, to go right back to the start of the show. So that's the stuff that I loved about being a part of it, was to be able to tell those stories and the ways that all the different media crew kind of work together. And there's awesome people in RC media all around the world doing great stuff. And, you know, we were very fortunate to be able to cover this event, and we get to cover some other stuff in our region, and that's awesome. Short question, long answer. You know the deal. Don't ask me anything.
Yeah, good. Yeah. I was going to mention that we're going to quickly touch on one other recent event that's happened that you were attended, along with a couple of events that are still to upcome here in Australian racing, that sort of side of things as well. Quickly before we go into that, Christopher sort of mentioned the media collaboration was epic to be on the receiving end of as an audience member. Yeah, no, exactly, spot on. And that's the way we wanted it to be. We wanted everyone to just enjoy it from the outside.
Yeah.
If you weren't there, to be able to enjoy it. So
Christopher is awesome. I'm just going to say, Mitch, Christopher is awesome. He's very encouraging. I get messages from him, you know, moderately regularly. We've never met. I hope one day we do, but he's just really encouraging, and, you know, he loves the hobby, and so it's cool to be able to share the stories for people that can't be at the racetrack in Sydney because they live on the other side of the world. But yeah, shout out to you, Christopher. Thanks for the encouragement. We always appreciate the messages of encouragement that come our way. Yeah. So what do we want to talk about?
A UK driver?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless I've got that completely wrong, and maybe he lives just around the corner from me and he's in a blackout as well. Who knows?
He's looking for you at the
Asian
streets at the
on-road
moment.
on-road championships. Do you want to talk about that? So yeah,
yes, 100%.
Asian on-road championships, the Scotty Ernst series. It has been a multi-round series at different times. The last couple of years, a single round at the incredible racetrack in Seoul in South Korea. So we, I think, got back to Brisbane, and 48 hours later was on the plane to meet up with Scotty. He'd in the meantime flown from Brisbane back to the US and then back to Korea. And the facility there was, I wish I had my laptop, I would share some photos of it, but it is incredible. The racing was really badly rain affected, so they got some practice in, I think, Wednesday, Thursday, and then it rained all day Friday, all day Saturday. But the facility's so good. There's a little indoor track And so the guys just all went indoors and started having, kind of hot lap competitions to see who could set the fastest lap time around this little indoor track while we waited for the weather. I think 9.4 for the record, and it might have been Akio Sabue that might have done that. But it was cool, amazing event. Ronald Volker was incredibly strong right through qualifying and finals, and kind of ran away with it really. He just put together one of those days that you kind of dream of, and was untouchable. The outdoor track was amazing. It's so beautifully presented. And we use the old bucket list phrase a fair bit, and sometimes maybe it's not justified, but in this case it is. If you're an on-road racer and you can get to this racetrack in Seoul, it's a bucket list kind of venue, incredible venue. We'll be back there next October, I think it is. There's some dates around, I think around the 22nd to the 26th, something like that, 25th. But that'll all be confirmed over the next little bit. So yeah, great event. Some fabulous racing at a spectacular facility. Put it on your list. Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching, some of the videos you and Scotty were putting out during the event, and it looked just incredible, the facility they have there. As you mentioned, they're the little indoor track as well. So if you do want to sort of follow the Asian On-Road Championships, there is a Facebook page there that's sort of run by Scotty Ernst, and that's the series. So
one of the videos that's up there, we took a tour, so a walking tour for 20 minutes, just walked through the facility, and the tracks are amazing, but the pit areas are immaculate. The shop is beautiful. There's a on-site cafe that blows your mind, honestly. That this incredible, like for racetrack food, and there's so much to kind of talk about. And so Mr. Kim, who is the owner and the kind of brains behind it all, is to be congratulated on an incredible facility. And the race itself, apart from the rain, obviously was really cool. We lost a few numbers because the weather was so bad that some of the races from around Korea headed home. But the A main, the standard of driving in the A finals was amazing, and modified in particular, there were 9 or 10 international drivers. Again, I just don't have my laptop in front of me now because of the situation here, but there was a driver who qualified second or third, one of the local drivers, and I now don't have his name in front of me, but his performance up against world class opposition was incredible, and he was super fast in seating, and then he just carried that all the way through qualifying. And the finals, it kind of got a bit too much for him, and it didn't go so well, but he kind of marked himself as one to watch, and a Korean driver to really keep an eye on. It was fantastic, great to be there for a couple of days.
I'm just kind of quickly try to bring it up. Which class was that in? Sorry,
that was in modified.
In modified.
So he was in the final, qualified second or third, and finished about maybe fourth or fifth or somewhere like that. I'm so sorry, I just don't have my results with me.
Is it Akio?
No, Akio's one of the Japanese drivers.
Okay.
Akio, not Akio.
Okay, so I'm looking at the double A main results, so it's not exactly correct. So from the double A main results, you had Hagberg, Mark Reinhardt in there, Hayato Ishioka.
Yep, Japanese driver. Yep.
Kevin Hubert.
Yep, Kevin from Canada.
E.C. Kim.
Yep.
E.C.
Kim drives for X-Ray. Yep.
Jacob Cruz from the US as well.
Yeah, young, talented Mugen driver from the US.
You had Yoshi Yanagisawa.
Another one of the Japanese drivers. Yep, I think was running Express. I hate being on this podcast without my notes in front of me, Mitch. It's terrible. Anyway, the event was fantastic. The track was amazing, and the hope is for a 2-round series in 2026. So one round in Korea, and Scotty's working hard to lock in a second round. So I won't kind of talk about that until that's locked in, but that's certainly the hope that he has, and he's working on that. So if you don't already, follow the Asian On-Road Championship Facebook page. The schedule will come out once the dates are locked in.
Yeah, jump on it, guys. It is easy to find. There you go, Asian On-Road Championships, AOSC. So if you are into the on-road scene, if you want to look at a trip to Korea or Australia, hopefully, if there's another round that happens to pop up, good opportunity. And Scotty Ernst, we all know that he runs a top level event. And there realistically is no one better, and that's coming from another race caller to a race caller. That's as brutally honest as you can get. He is the best in the business. So, Christopher just saying there, shout out, you've made my day. UK club racer at Sheffield Off-Road and Rally. There we go.
There you go. Yeah.
It's awesome. On to next thing. Upcoming events, Scotty. We have got a little bit coming up, and I know that I have got a little bit still coming up. I felt like my end of year was the World Championships, and then I looked at my calendar and I went, no, I'm still a long way from the end of my year. So next event up, and I'll quickly stream this back up as well.
Yep.
This
so
one
you
right
and I
here.
You and I are 3 days away from heading to Melbourne, Australia for the Vintage Bash 4. This is the 4th annual running of the Vintage Bash, and vintage racing we know has taken off all around the world. This event is actually pretty special in that there is racing and people will win races, but that is very much secondary to the stories of the cars and the drivers, and it's built an incredible community around this event. They put out some information this morning, 477 entries over the 5 days of the event. Predominantly kind of vintage, split up into different eras, aligned with kind of IFMAR World Championship events. So, you'll get the 85 to 87, the 89 to 93, the 93 to 97, whatever it is. And then they've done a couple extra pretty interesting things this year. So the release of the Tamiya Hornet Evo has been a widely enjoyed kind of, and so it's not a reproduction of an original Hornet, but it's got a bit more modern suspension design around it. But they've added a Hornet Evo class. There are, I think it's 50 Hornet Evos racing at this event. And the Hornet Evos are doing two things. One is a Japanese style race called Chonmage. Atsushihara will be at the Vintage Bash. He'll kind of lead everyone through that. And then they're also doing RC soccer with the Hornet Evos on the grass field next to the track sometime on the Friday. It's going to be, so that's almost worth the price of admission alone, the Hornet Evos. But then 477 different cars will be on track over the 3-4 days, and everything from, of course, every variation of race cars, RC10s and Cougars and, TLR, Losi cars, all of those kinds of things, but also the most obscure kind of cars from yesteryear that, people will either have never seen or will not have seen for 40 years. There's a bunch of SG Coyotes coming, Mitch. Do you know what those are?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, there you go. Well, so it's all of that stuff. It's going to be fantastic. Big shout out to the crew. The event is happening in Melbourne at the Knox Club. That club's been there for 40 years. So it's been on that same site. And so it is an old school dirt track that you and I get to go, and with Tony and Matt from RC Race Media, we'll be streaming that event all around the world for the first time. So previous years there's been, photo and short form video and so on, but this year we'll be able to stream the whole thing. And kind of cool that it's happening just a couple of weeks after the Team Associated race in Vegas. But the Vegas race is a good warm up for the Vintage Bash. It's the main event. I was about to say that. Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure you said how many entries was there for the Bash?
I'm sure they announced today it was 477. Yeah.
Right. Now, I don't know whether this is just a competitive side that Bash has just come out to double up here, because the vintage race over in the US had 474.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
The Bash would have 3 more overall entries than what the US Las Vegas vintage race.
There you go.
There might be a little bit of competition going on there.
I stand to be fact checked. I'm sure I was reading this. today the Vintage Bash, on the Vintage Bash Facebook page, released their Stage 4 report, which has the full schedule and all the details. And I'm sure the introduction to that said 477 across whatever the number is, whatever you're doing this weekend coming, starting Friday, middle of Friday, Australian time, so you can do the maths wherever you are in the world. We're going to be having a load of fun. We'll, of course, get some on-track action, but we're going to be wandering through the pits, talking to people, looking at the SG Coyotes and the Mugen Bulldogs and the 91 Team Losi World Championship prototype replicas that have been built, and everything in between. And the absolute highlight, Mitch, and you've probably got some other things to say about it, but the standout highlight for this event is that the guys have built replica cars of every one of the A final cars from the two-wheel drive final at the 1989 World Championships. So Masami Hirosaka won that. That was the RC10 Stealth prototype that never saw the light of day. They've built replicas of all 10 of those cars, and each day will finish with, A1 will be on Friday afternoon, A2 on Saturday afternoon, A3 on Sunday afternoon, with guest drivers. But the computer will be loaded with the original name. So it'll be Hirosaka, V. Lett, V. Johnson, V. Booth, V. Drescher, whatever it was. But some of Australia's kind of legends coming to have guest drives, and people like Atsushi Hara who'll be behind the wheel as well. So that's just one of the incredible features. And those 10 cars, they've done so much work to make them as exact replicas as they can. Fantastic event. We're excited. I'm excited to get down there. I don't know about you, Mitch. Got to do a few days work between now and then, but it's going to be real fun.
Yeah, I won't be down there until Friday. I'll be doing helping out with the coverage on Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, I've got a couple of extra days of work still to do. And I did find the Stage 4 report, so I'll quickly bring that up just to confirm or deny the allegations of 477 drivers.
I'm being fact-checked.
According to the Stage 4 report, you were spot on. 477 entries, and that equates to 387 drivers spread across 4 days of racing, which would make it bigger than the Vintage Championships over in Las Vegas by a couple of entries.
It's the biggest RC car race ever in Australia, like full stop. There has never been a bigger RC car race than this in Australian history. That's amazing. Shout out to the guys. They've done a great job with the event, but also with the environment and the atmosphere, and they're not trying to make this a super competitive on-track race. They're trying to make this a really fun event. It's amazing.
No, exactly right, and that's the way it should be with vintage, in my opinion, and I think the opinion of a lot of other drivers. We're not out there to race our RC10s to break parts, to have to try and find replacements and stuff. And I know there's a lot of re-re's out there nowadays, but I feel as if probably a lot of people probably would feel that putting a part on that's not of the age onto a car that was made in a certain way probably takes away from the original feel of the car. Yeah.
I'm going to introduce you to the SG Coyote, Mitch. That's my goal for next weekend, is to show you one of those.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. All right, so next event up, and we'll quickly breeze through these ones, will be the RCRA Large Scale Nationals, and that's going to be at England Park Raceway. That'll be covered by myself, and they do have some live stream cameras set up there. That once again, that's at England Park Raceway over the 5th to the 9th of November, and then the very following weekend at Chargers RC, we make our way into some trucking love. A bit of love for trucks.
That's right.
We love some trucking action here in Australia, and especially myself. I absolutely love racing a short course truck, as the majority of people will well know by now. So they do have stadium truck, short course truck, and also outlaw cars. Outlaw cars being that sort of cross between a vintage / a modern car. The B5Ms to the days where they're not really that competitive nowadays, but still get around the track pretty well. Lossy 22s, that's the side of things. So pretty, really fun style event again there from coming from Chargers RC. I'm pretty sure Geno, who's one of the major members / committee members of the track there, he's lined me up to drive a short course, and that'll be good fun. So anyone that's wanting to have a race in short course, that'll be a good one. Stadium truck as well, obviously. So after that, and I don't think that I have a photo of it, but I will try to bring it up shortly at the same time. We then look down south to what is a first for Australia again, and that is the national titles on AstroTurf.
Yeah.
I'm trying to quickly bring up their website at the same time here, so I can share that. Now, entries are not giant, and I should say this pretty quickly here because the entries actually close tonight officially.
Okay.
So if you haven't already done so, you should be making your way to the ARCR website and looking at signing up for the 10 scale nationals here in Adelaide. It's a first nationals on AstroTurf, as we mentioned before. It's a really, really cool feel. I was very skeptical coming into the state titles a few months back. I had no idea what I'd be getting myself into. I previously have not overly enjoyed racing on AstroTurf, or I should say carpet. So I sort of went down there with a very low bar, but I come back with just a ton of memories and a ton of fun. And it was probably one of the most enjoyable events I've ever been to, going down to the Adelaide State titles. So realistically, a last call for anyone that wants to race at the Nationals, get your entries in. It'll be an absolute blast. You don't need many pairs of tyres. It's all control tyres now as well. Get 2 pairs of tyres for the rear, 1 pair of tyres for the front. Go down and have a blast. Chuck a short course on track, buy 1 pair of fronts, 1 pair of rears. Have a blast in that as well whilst you're at it. Adelaide's putting on a heap of work and stuff to get their tracks ready for the Nationals. So it'd be good for the people to support that as well. But that does predominantly wrap up our year. I haven't got anything else on my calendar. Have you got anything else on your calendar, Scotty, before we go to Christmas and officially call it the end of year? Have we still got you, Scotty? Have we lost you? Are you still there, Scotty? Don't tell me we've lost you. Oh no, have you lost me? I think we might have lost Scotty. Oh, bugger. Okay, well, with that being said, I haven't talked to Matt and Tony yet, but I believe we will be doing another end of year wrap up. It's quite well known now that RC Racing TV, Action RC, and Mitch and the Mike, we all sort of put together like an end of year wrap. And Scotty has entered the studio apparently. There we go. We got a secondary Scotty. Look at that, Scotty squared. It's like I'm back in the world with 2 Scotties again.
I don't know if this is going to work. My phone is dying. There's no battery left, and my headsets have died. I was just going to say, my summertime mode for Action RC is that I'm working on a product review, a car review, which I'm very excited about. I hope to get an unboxing video out in the next week or so, and then once we get back from the Vintage Bash, we'll get on to building. So I'm looking forward to going back to almost old school magazine days. So Shoemaker have kindly helped out with the latest and greatest Cat PB, the shaft drive Shoemaker 4-wheel drive. I'm very excited to build that and get it out to Chargers and have a run with that. And some other, I'm kind of got some electronics coming in that'll go into that as well. So if you're interested in what
Oh, we might have lost Scotty again here. Kind of sounds like a drum and bass on my side, so we might have lost him. All right. I think we did lose Scotty. Well, I'll try to help finishing what he was saying. Oh, not that one. I'll try to help finish what he was saying. Head over to Action RC. He does have a YouTube page as well as a Facebook page. As Scotty Guy, he's going to be doing an unboxing of the Schumacher vehicles. I'm sure he'll be posting it up onto the Action RC Facebook and also YouTube page. I have got him sort of there. I'm not sure if he's still ready to jump on. No, he's gone. Okay, so yeah, head on over to the Action RC Facebook page or YouTube page if you want to see the unboxing, and I'm guessing probably a bit of a build up from Scotty that always does an awesome job with his vehicles. Yep, he's giving me the thumbs up in the background here. With that being said, I was sort of mentioning before that usually we do an end of year wrap up between RC Race Media, Action RC, and myself. I believe that we'll be still doing that. We haven't talked with Matt and Tony yet, but that's always such an epic round up to the year. We try to get a couple of guests on. So by all means, if you guys want to see that, if you have any guests in mind, feel free to message myself, or maybe don't message Action RC, or he's giving me the thumbs up, so maybe message Scotty from Action RC as well if you have certain people that you'd like to see on, or if you'd like to volunteer yourself onto that as well. We'll start putting together a bit of a short list and see where we go from there as well. So I'm sure we'll probably get that underway in the next couple of weeks and stuff, and we'll put a date together and we'll have an end of year wrap up. With that being said, I think we've had enough technical difficulties to wrap us up for a long time. I've gone through a microphone, 2 cameras, a charging port that doesn't want to work anymore. Scotty's been out in, a potential tornado, lost connection, gone through charges, worked with no light. We had Daniel Pole on before, who has a mysterious ghost that managed to open and close his blinds. So it's been a hell of a night, an incredible night, I should say. It is. We've been going for just over 3 hours now. And I'd like to say a massive thank you to anyone and everyone that has joined us both throughout the live stream, and a massive thank you, obviously, to Daniel Pole for joining us, but also, obviously, Scotty Guy from Action RC for being my co-host today and working through the many, many difficulties that he's had to work through out there as well. It's been a great night. And we'll hopefully get a couple of these issues sorted, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much, guys. We'll catch you next time.